So I'll provide you an answer, probably using some different words than full autonomy, right? But I'll tell you, one of the ways that I lead is to be very clear about the expectations, to be very clear about the goals, and then to allow that leader to go in and to assess that organization, to come back to me and tell me what the needs are. And we will look at those needs based upon resources we have, flexibility we have, policies that exist, and find the strategies that will give us the best bang for our resources, because it has to be a return on investment. So he will have full authority to lead the athletic department to achieve the goals that we've agreed together within the resources available, or that he will go out and procure.
Amen.
Did I answer your question?
I'm not going to do this alone. This is going to be a family effort, right? It's going to take all of Panther Nation to get us to where we want to be, because we deserve to be at the top. We're going to be a model FCS program, not just in the SWAC, but nationally. And that's a promise I'm going to make to you. But like I said, we're going to do this together.
I'm Tremaine Jackson. I'm the head football coach here at Prairie View A&M. We appreciate you guys for coming and spending your morning with us. Good on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, number two, whoever gave you the money to come out here and do this, you need to make sure you say thank you. Not just go appreciate it, you need to say thank you to whoever helped you. If somebody allowed you to work and get some money, you need to tell them thank you for that opportunity. Not enough of that going on in our society. We need to get back to that. You understand me on that?
Yes, sir.
Three, there's some other coaches out here that hopefully you did something to not just pique the interest of our coaches, but pique their interest too if you plan on or want to or aspire to play college football. So hopefully you did that. You need to meet people though. You need to walk around here and not be in the drill. But you need to get an opportunity to meet other coaches, let them know your name, let them know what high school you go to and what class you are, what position you play. It's nothing worse than when a guy walks up to me and goes, Tremaine Jackson, I know nothing about you. Tell people something about you. We good on that?
Yes, sir.
Last thing, if you plan on playing at Prairie View A&M or you aspire to play at Prairie View A&M, you need to understand it ain't the same Prairie View A&M. It's a lot different now. So what your aunt's husband told you about Prairie View A&M, what he thought it was, it ain't that. Everybody can't play here. It's not just, I'm gonna go down and go to PV. That's no more. If you wanna play here, you have to be as elite as anywhere else. And that's okay if people don't think it should be like that. It's like that. You can come to unofficial visits, you can come to game day visits, you can see how we operate things, but whatever you heard or whatever you thought, it ain't that. That's why we put folks out of camp that don't want to play ball. No more can you be lazy around here. That goes from the top down and certainly gonna go to you. If you aspire to be one of us, it's a certain way that we do things. You good on that?
Yes, sir.
We'd love to have you, but you gotta be able to play here. You gotta be able to excel here. You gotta be able to help us come off this hill and get on everybody's ass. That's how we do things. And it's a new day. But we look forward to seeing you in Houston, August 30th, against them other folks down there. Everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's a new day, Mr. Mickens.
Yes.
How you doing today, sir? How you?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there.
Hey, listen, it's a new day. All right, it's a new day. You got to be able to come off this hill and get on these folks. It's clear. The expectations been set from President LeGrand to AD Golf, now to Coach Jackson. And listen, they not the only one. They not the only one, right? Who see and understand what's going on now, right? And the moves that's being made, right? I gotta play this from yesterday, all right? None other than Coach Cole, because he got something to say as well.
They talking crazy now. We ain't used to that. Like,
Well, hey, listen, I was like, I had to get my popcorn. I was like, okay, Prairie View, they got Grandma got a shook.
Well, let me tell y'all something, y'all two Southern Jaguars. This one of my proteges at Prairie View, and he ain't just talking. You guys better be ready to damn strip it up, lock it up, and get the mouthpieces in, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm taking Dion's word. They coming.
Hey, Coach Cole. Hey, listen, Coach Johnny Cole said they coming. I listen. I'm gonna tell you guys, all right? He said this my protege. He not just talking. Now listen. Last time I checked, Mr. Mickens, Coach Cole is a TSU guy.
Yes.
He a TSU guy. Last time I checked, right?
TSU
Now,
guy all the way.
Hey, listen. If the TSU guy is letting you know what's about to happen, y'all need to get ready, man, because what's about to come off this hill is about to be trouble. Trouble. Oh, Mr. Campbell said that video use was unauthorized. Listen, hey, it is what it is, Mr. Campbell. Hey, I'm just reporting the news as it's been heard, right? Coach Cole say when we come off that hill, it's gonna be trouble. That's what he say.
Trouble. Yeah.
We're not the only ones saying it, Mr. Mickens. That's all I'm trying to say. That's right. All I'm trying to say. Coach Cole say, first of all, Coach Cole made the statement and said, one, he not just talking. That's the first thing, right? He not just talking. And isn't that what Coach Tremaine Jackson has been saying? He's saying, listen, I'm not just talking big. I'm telling you what's about to happen. Isn't that what he's been saying? Right?
That's what he's been saying.
I'm telling you what's about to happen.
Yes.
So
bringing all his lessons learned.
Listen, man, and I like Coach Cole said last night on the show, just reminded, and I think he made some eloquent points, right? One point he made on the show yesterday, and again, I don't know if Mr. Campbell and them really was listening because it's like they got wax in their ears when it comes to PV right now. But one of the points that he made on last night was just the fact of the matter is Terrence Graves last year won the West. And there was a whole argument back and forth, right? Last, about, hey, because Coach Cole made the statement about, well, Terrence Graves last year essentially is one of the best of the worst, right? Now he said he probably should have cleaned it up and said it a different way. But the point he's making is like, hey man, all these coaches are new coaches, right? You just the best of the new guys on the block, right? That's not really, at the end of the day, that's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm giving you credence for just being the best of the new guys, right? That's essentially what Coach Cole was saying, right? You know what I mean? Right. That's essentially what we're saying. And like Mr. Malone say, are you agreeing with Coach Cole or not, Mr. Campbell? That's the question. We don't want to hear all nothing else. Do you agree with Coach Cole or not? Hear you point blank. Answer the question. Answer the question, all right? But listen. He's saying Coach Graves is basically, you know what I mean, was basically saying, listen, Terrence Graves is one of the best of the new guys, the guys with just wet behind their ears. That's basically what it is. But then when he talked about Jermaine, he's like, listen, y'all don't understand. You talking about a coach. He's saying you got to realize Coach T-Jack is the most tenured coach on the west side of the country. He said, really, in the whole league. And when you think about it, that's factual. What other coach is, as a head coach, has had more time as a head coach than Coach Tremaine Jackson in the SWAC? We're not even just talking about the West right now, right? In the whole entire SWAC, what other coach is the most tenured right now? I'm not talking about tenure in the conference, right? I'm talking about the most tenured coach, period, as a head coach. Coach T-Jack is that. And so, like Coach Cole is saying, you're talking about somebody who's coming in who is tenured. This is not a guy who's trying to figure out things, who's trying to put things together. He's already gone through the bumps and bruises, already to figure those things out. So he really understands what he's doing, right? And what he's putting in place. I mean, listen, it was beautiful. It was magnificent last night on HBCU Coach. It was this. That's what it was last night on Coach's Corner. It was this. Coach Cole, magnificent, magnificioso, okay? Magnificioso. Everything you said, Coach Cole. Listen, I'm with you, Coach. And listen, I know the reality is Coach Cole done been to some practices too. That's the other part about it, right?
No,
he ain't say all that. He ain't say this part. He really ain't say this part. But Coach Cole also done been to some practices too. You feel me? That's also the other part of this conversation that he didn't really share. So not only do you know he coming because he's protege, he also know he coming because he done been to practice. All right, he done been there. He done seen what's on the hill. So when the gates open and we roll off that hill, he already know what's coming. Yeah, and like he said, Coach Cole, I like how Coach Cole said it yesterday. He said, "Hey, listen, man, them boys gon' listen. He a dog. He gonna have them boys ready to play. Y'all boys better strap it up.
Wait a minute.
Y'all better strap it up.
Speaking of dog, I've seen dogs somewhere else in the SWAC. I'm not gonna say no names. We got
they just taking and stealing. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
McDonald's and McDonald's.
Hey, speaking of an announcement of quarterback, right? Did you just saw the news that Coach Jackson that PB Nation just dropped about a new Oregon 4-star quarterback coming over to the Hill? Did y'all hear that news about the 4-star quarterback coming over to the Hill?
Yeah, it was on Twitter, right?
Oh man, it was on Twitter. 4-star quarterback coming over to the Hill. Now, listen. Whether it's real or not, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm just reporting what's out there. Okay. All I know is that all I know is the roaches came crawling as soon as it dropped. You know what I mean? Because like I said the other day, you can find out who in the PV algorithm real quick. All right. You can find out who in the PV algorithm really quick. Okay. By just dropping some views. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real quick. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just trying to say, right? Hey, listen, Mr. Campbell. All I'm saying is, hey, Mr. Campbell, you got to give us some credit, right? You had my coach come on the show, right? You had my coach come on the show. You asked him what the standard is. Now, what's the standard? The standard. I just want to know because I told you I knew what the standard was. Was the standard the standard? But and this the issue. See, I really wish we could pull up y'all show from HBCU Coaches Corner last night, right? You know, I might have to get Mr. Mickens to pull up some of the clips because listen, I want to tell you, last night on the Coaches Corner, I just really think a lot of people just told them themselves. That's my personal opinion, right? Because let me tell you, even in the conversation, like I remember one part of the conversation. Shouts out to Perry, shouts out to BJ Jones, right? And all the great things they do. But listen, one part of the conversation, it was clear that they was trying to get Southern fans to understand, like, hey, we're not living in the time of Pete Richardson, right? We're not living in the time of Pete Richardson, right? And both of them said, you know what both of them said, Mr. Mickens? It's not the 90s anymore. Like they living in the 90s. They trying to hold on to the 90s, right? And we got to realize, man, that's 25, that's 30 years ago. Now, I want y'all to understand. See, this how, listen, man, people get themselves caught up all the time. All right. Because now these are them same people who, when we try to have some conversations, now somebody please tell me what R&B years they trying to take us back to. What R&B years they try to hold us to. Is it not the 90s?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is it not the 90s? But yet, when they have a conversation yesterday, see when they're in a comfortable environment having conversations on HBCU Coaches Corner, everybody start telling themselves, right? They start telling you that to their own fan base, they trying to get some of their old alum to even say, man, let go of the 90s, let go of the Pete Richardson years. But at the same time, out the same mouth, right? See the Bible talks about out of one mouth, right? The tongue can have blessings and cursing. See, this how it can be double. You can be double tongued around here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You could be double tongued around here. But see, I'm trying to tell y'all, see, this is what I do over here at People vs. Everybody. I just catch everybody in the lies they be spewing and telling. That's all I do. That's why they got to follow me. It ain't the t-shirts. It ain't the t-shirts. It's the fact that I can catch them and say, listen, what you saying here is completely opposite to what you're saying over here. It's completely opposed to what you're saying over here. Because see, y'all be trying to hold PV to the 90s, but at the same time over here, you trying to get your fans to let go of the 90s. Now, how much sense that make? Now, am I tripping, or is that what they said yesterday?
No, that's what they said. I mean, their fans are holding on to the days of when Southern wore one color blue.
Hey, listen, man. That time is long gone, long gone, long gone. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to say, man, listen, I just noticed how people, right, would say one thing out of one side of their neck and say a completely different thing on another side of it. Maybe that's why SWAC bands is playing neck all the time, every year. Because they be talking out both sides of it all the time, right? All the time. Mr. Campbell, let me know. I don't understand, Mr. Campbell. Now, I watched the whole interview. I watched everything. It was magnificent. It was magnificioso, especially Coach Cole part. Coach Cole, what Coach Cole said, listen, that was magnificioso, all right? That was completely magnificioso, all right? I can't lie. Everything that Coach Cole said.
Yeah, he
told
so much truth about PV. We're gonna have to put him in witness protection because he's gonna catch some strays for saying something positive about PV.
Man, listen, everything that Coach Cole said was on point. Now, I don't see this is why I don't like doing it on my phone, because I'm trying to get back to my videos.
Oh, it did something weird. So we'll get Lionel back in a second here. Think we lost you, Lionel. Let's see, are you in on audio? Oh, there you go. Right there.
There we go. All right. So, because maybe some people ain't hear what Coach Cole said, so I want to let them know.
They talking crazy now. We ain't used to that. Like,
well, hey, listen, I was like, I had to get my popcorn. I was like, okay, Prairie View, they got grandma kind of shook.
Well, let me tell y'all something. Y'all two Southern Jaguars. This one of my proteges at Prairie View, and he ain't just talking. You guys better be ready to damn strip it up, lock it up, and get the mouthpieces in, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm taking Dion's word. They coming.
Hey, I ain't said now that was on as Mr. Campbell say, HBCU Coaches Corner. That was on an HBCU Coaches Corner. And Coach Cole, magnificioso. Magnificent show. That's the best show I've heard Coach Cole in a long time. That's the best version of Coach Cole I've heard in a long time on that show, though. But he say, listen, that's my protege. He not just talking. Y'all better strap it up, because like I tell y'all, he not just saying that because it's protege. I'm really just being honest. It's not just because it's a protege. He done been to campus. He done been to practice. I'm trying to let y'all know. He ain't telling y'all that. He know a little bit more. He know a little bit more than what he letting off. That's the real reality of the situation, right? So Coach Cole, like, y'all ain't gonna catch me up not supporting the team that's winning, because I'm gonna look smart, okay, when it's over with. All right. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna be standing on the right side. All right. I'm gonna be standing on the side that right. He said Southern folks.
He still won't have a purple shirt on, though. He don't have any purple shirts.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mr. Malone. See, I appreciate smart, educated Prairie View alum, right? You know what I'm saying? Because Southern fans acting like they have won the SWAC for the last 20 years. How many SWAC titles they got since 2000? Somebody answer the question in the chat. Somebody answer the question in the chat, all right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Only shirt we need is the one that say 2025 SWAC champions. Now, with all that said, man, because that was beautiful. I'm just saying that was beautiful, right? That was really beautiful. I mean, it is what it is. It was just beautiful, right? Now, another thing I heard before we get into the next clip that I want to play, another thing I heard, right, is I just want to say, because see, my coach was on HBCU Coach Corner the other day, because I know he a big draw. That's what he do, because we answer emails like Rocky say, right? I heard Coach the other day say the standard is the standard. Now, people offended by us saying the standard is the standard. But now, you know what I heard today, Mr. Mickens? You know what I'm saying? That's why we playing neck all the time. I understand now why FAMU plays neck. I understand why Southern plays neck. I understand why Grambling plays neck so much, because they just be talking out both sides of it all the time. Because listen, on HBCU Coaches Corner, make sure y'all locked in. Make sure y'all go follow Rocky Miller channel. Make sure y'all watching every week. But listen, on this show just yesterday, you know the other thing I heard? I heard after our coach came on and say the standard, I heard Perry and BJ saying, hey, listen, man, you know how Southern fan base is, et cetera, right? Yeah, if Terrence Graves don't do this, if he don't do that, Like, that's how we move. That's why Dooley got kicked out. And I heard one, Mr. Arbiter of Truth, Mr. HBCU Unity, Mr. Campbell himself. Listen, Mr. Dick 36, all that. I heard him say the same thing about one James Cozy. Now, it's amazing to me that when we say that, listen, the coach, listen, we bring in somebody in, and this is the job we bring you in for, right? You got 1, 2, 3 things you need to do, and you need to be checking them out very quickly. We're not playing no games with you. Now, when we say the same exact thing that I heard out of Mr. Campbell's mouth, right? It came out of the Arbiter of Truth, Dick 36, right? Cadillac riding the Escalade, all that same person, right? I heard him say, Cozy got to get gone, right? If he don't accomplish certain things. I heard the celebration and the understanding, right, oozing from Rocky, from Mr. Campbell, right? Even though Coach Cole didn't agree with it, right? I heard it oozing out of them when they said the same thing about Terrence Graves. But now, when my coach and we on this platform say, listen, you got one job and one job only, and that's to win the SWAC championship in the Celebration Bowl. And if you ain't doing that, listen, we ain't got time for you. Like this, I don't know what you think this is and what you thought this was, but that's what the conversation is. Now, when we had this conversation, and I got them guys over here on SWAC Tears, they talking me down because of me saying this the reality of the situation. But now, what do I know here in my ear, in my little ear, is them saying the exact same thing. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. PB Nation, y'all gotta stop listening to these people, because they will tell you one thing out of one side. You know, these other SWAC people is acting just like light-skinned people. I'm gonna say it like that. Y'all get what y'all know I'm talking about. Look at me in my eye. Look at me in my eye. They acting just like light-skinned people out here that's gonna tell you one thing and do the exact other thing. So they're gonna tell you one thing, but then you're gonna realize later, like, man, they were just lying to me. They were just saying that to me. I ain't even have to do. Yeah, they acting just like them light-skinned people do. You know what I'm talking about? Just like them light-skinned people do, because they're going to tell you one thing and tell you to act a different way, tell you not to have this standard, but they got the same doggone standard they telling you not to have. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy, Mr. Bickers? Now, ain't that crazy, Mr. Bickers? Ain't that something? Ain't that something, right? You know what I'm saying? And see, this the thing, right? See, just like Mr. Campbell here, FAMU standard goes all the way back to 1945. See, but this the thing, though, right? This is the thing that people don't understand. It doesn't matter where you attach or connect your standard to. That has nothing to do with what Southern connects their standard to, right? And the reason they have for whatever they are requiring, right? And it also has nothing to do with Grambling attaches theirs to and what they asking them for, what they requiring, right? That's what I'm saying. People will want you to stick to something, just like on the same show, like I just told y'all, on this same show, Perry and BJ saying, stop going to the 90s. But see, Mr. Campbell, what he's not saying, but saying at the same time, is I'm taking you to the 90s. That's what he's saying, even though he's not saying it, right? Because if he wasn't saying that, he wouldn't be having no problem with us having the same exact standard that he got for his same program. That's why y'all listen, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all this for the last 3 years on this platform. That's why y'all gotta stop listening to these people, because they don't know what they talking about. They can't create a standard for you. I talked about this after we won the West Championship in 2023. I came on this platform and said, listen, I did a show called You Gotta Celebrate Then Accelerate. On that show, I told y'all winning the West ain't no championship. I came on here and said, hey man, you gotta celebrate it, but it ain't no championship. Let's be clear. Let's be clear right now. This ain't no championship. Okay. I don't care if they make a trophy for it. It ain't no championship. Okay. I came on here and told y'all that. And then I said, listen, the thing you got to realize is you can't let other people set standards for you. You can't let other people tell you what you should expect from yourself, from your program, from your team. I've been said this 2 years ago.
Yeah, we said that.
What we realizing now in this day right now is, I hope PV Nation understanding that this is a manifestation of what we've been talking about, that you can't let other people decide for you what you gonna require and what you're gonna sell. It's just like a relationship, right? Y'all can say whatever y'all want to, right? People who outside your relationship gonna tell you all the type of things to accept. They will tell you all the type of things to let go. But they themselves ain't gonna accept that in a relationship for themselves. You can't let these people tell you that. You can't let these people have no conversation with you about none of that stuff, okay? None of that stuff, okay? Because see what this is doing. See the reason why PV Nation has needed this and now it's PV versus everybody is because now we check the foolishness and we point it out, we bring it to the light, and we show y'all the foolishness for what it is, okay? Because yesterday, I want y'all to go watch it, right? Because listen, I love me some HBCU Coaches Corner. I've been checking it out all the time, okay? So listen, this ain't no shade, Mr. Campbell. No, this ain't no shade to the Coach Corner. 'Cause I love the Coach Corner, okay? But what this is though is showing you that you can't listen to these people. You can't listen to Mr. Campbell. You can't be listening to Perry. You can't listen to BJ Jones, right? Now you can listen. You can listen to Coach Cole on yesterday. You can listen to yesterday.
On yesterday.
Magnificioso. You listened to him yesterday. But the rest of the days, don't listen to me either. Because listen, them people gonna tell you one thing and do a complete opposite thing for their own selves, and their own program, and their own home. Okay. So don't worry about nothing they talking about, man. Don't worry about nothing they talking about. Because the same people who told me a week and a half ago, don't make no swag shirts expecting to win in this year, is the same people who told me that's the reason we got rid of Dooley. And that's the reason we gonna get rid of Terrence Graves if he don't do what we say he's gonna do. Same people who got a problem with me. Same people. PB Nation. Y'all can't listen to these folks. Listen, after we win 4 championships in a row, by the way, it ain't stopping. Okay. I would put that chokehold on these people. Listen, I'm gonna change their tune anyway. So don't worry about nothing they talk about. Because they just talk, they sound crazy. They talk on both sides of the neck. So, and Mr. Mickens, I know I've been hogging it.
TV win, they still ain't gonna pick them. They don't care.
Hey, listen, and this is another thing, right? See, that's the other thing they need to start learning, right? I don't care if they pick me or not. Like, I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm still gonna believe what I'm gonna believe. Who cares what they say? I think that's what y'all got to start understanding. And this leads perfectly into the next part of the conversation we're gonna have, right? This leads perfectly into this next part of the conversation. Listen to what the question Rocky Miller asked right here.
He's a dog, coach. He's a dog, and he gonna have them kids playing.
This is what I question about Prairie View, and you guys can answer this question. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View? It doesn't seem like you can when you're going up against fan bases like Southern and Grambling and Jackson State and FAMU. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View?
Hey, listen, the camp was funny. He said, I'm glad I'm home because I drive and I would have a wreck. Well, we happy you at home. Listen, we don't want nobody wrecking. We don't want nobody wrecking. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. Yeah, listen, that was wrong too. Kimberly, I caught that too, right? They say he lost. He went to Mumford and won. I don't know what they talking about crying on the sideline. But they were crying for homecoming. Okay. Now, this goes back to what Mr. Darius Malone has already said, right? You know what I'm saying? He's already asked this question. Because listen, Rock is mistaken. All right, listen. And before I go in, right, Mr. Carey, what's your thoughts on this statement? What's the thoughts on this question, right? Because I'm about to go in, but I'm gonna let you get some time here, okay? What's your thoughts on this question that Mr. Rocky Miller himself can ask?
Okay, yeah, he's I don't know. You can win if it's 3 fans in the audience. It's all about the dogs on the field. Google started talking to me. Yeah, you can win with 3 fans in the audience. So we'll have our 13 fans there. And PV is gonna do his thing, and just like we said earlier, as long as we choose violence in those trenches, we can make it happen. Whether it's 13 fans or 13,000. But I didn't understand that question. He didn't ask that of any other, team and their fan base because. This teams that done well, and not saying our fans won't show up. Winning makes the fans show up. So
for sure. Yeah.
So our fans just gotta see it first. They're all nervous, so they gotta see it because we disappointed them a few times. So they're just kind of nervous and waiting to see.
Now, there's so many angles, right? We could talk about this question from, right? First and foremost, the question is a fallacy anyway, in the first place, right? As you've said and stated, do you ask this question of, first of all, do you ask the question to anybody that you talk to, coach, media person? Do you ask the question to anybody that's in the MEAC conference at all whatsoever?
Oh, in the MEAC.
Do you ask this question of, can a fan base, can this program be a championship program without a fan base? Do you ask that to anybody in the MEAC? No, you don't.
No.
You don't ask anybody in the MEAC. First of all, you already know the MEAC don't care about numbers like that in the first place, right? That's why when that whole argument conversation come up with SWAC and MEAC, it's like MEAC like, all right, we bow out because we care about the game. We don't care necessarily about the stands, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you also don't ask that question because guess what? Morgan do you think Morgan got a fan base?
No.
Do you think Howard got a fan base? I mean, like, what are we talking about, right? Outside of Norfolk, South Carolina State, right? I mean, NCCU, some of y'all swear NCCU got a fan base, but the reality is, over the last decade, Prairie View has averaged more fans than NCCU. So what are we talking about, right? But nobody is gonna sit here and say North Carolina Central is not a championship program. Who was gonna say that? Ain't nobody out here gonna say that NCC not a championship program.
No.
That's first and foremost, right? Let's be clear. The whole question is a fallacy in the first place because it don't even make no sense what he's talking about. The question is a dumb question in the first place because if championships is just connected to fan attendance, then listen, there wouldn't be a 13-year drought then for certain schools. If it's all about fan attendance, last time I checked, right? Then NCCU wouldn't be winning championships then. They wouldn't be a championship program because they ain't got fans out the wazoo like that in the first place. Again, Prairie View averaged more fans than them over the last decade. So what we talking about, right? So of course, you ain't got to have fan attendance to be a championship program. Listen, one thing I know is the University of Incarnate Word, every year, if anybody see them on their schedule, they know they got to strap it up and get ready to go. Now, listen, we done played Incarnate Word plenty of times over the last 10 to 15 years. They had more fans at a game than we've had freshmen move into the campus every year. Period, point blank, right? So the question is actually a dumb question. It's really the whole question is really stupid, to be honest. I mean, I'm just being straight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, like I say, I rock with HBCU, Coach Corner. I rock with Rocky. The question is a dumb question, though, right? It's really a dumb question. Incarnate Word, right? Listen, we can talk about multiple PWI programs who are winning without a fan base. Y'all think all these PWIs that's winning out here got fan bases? What are y'all talking about, man? Y'all know this is a dumb question. And again, like Mr. Malone is saying here, if a fan base like Southern, where if Southern like that, why ain't Southern won more than one championship since the 2000s? Since they fan base like that, Mr. Miller, answer this question for me then. Why in the world Southern ain't won more than one then? Since it's about a fan base like Southern. Now listen, Mr. Perry and Mr. Jones got on right because he said, listen, Prairie View won in 2009. And I mean, and listen, we was there in 2009. Coach Cole said the same thing. We were there and we saw, listen, them fans was there. When they was winning, we saw the fans come out and they showed up, right? You know what I'm saying? Which is what I told people all the time, right? Like, listen, it don't take nothing to get it restarted. It just take a couple W's. And I'm talking about real W's. I'm not talking about like no W's during the year. I'm talking about some championship W's. Oh, listen, it's there because you got a school with over 80,000 graduated alum. I keep saying that, right? Over 80. Prairie View has some of the most graduates of any HBCU. Let's be clear.
We have a lot of graduates. Yeah.
The potential is already there. It's already built in. And again, the other reason it's a fallacy, right? The other reason it's a fallacy in the first place, right? And this is the power of media and the power of narrative, right? The only reason Rocky Miller is asking this stupid question is because of what Scotty did when he talked about PV fan base. That's literally the only reason the question is even being asked in the first place. Let's be clear. And again, see, this is why you gotta challenge even people like Mr. Campbell, who's supposed to be the arbiter of truth. But I keep seeing that he skirt away from truth because the reality is Prairie View's always had a fan base. Even during the years when Prairie View was on this losing streak, Prairie View's always had fans. Always, right? But this complete lie of a narrative, right? Because again, right, you can go check even school like NCCU, who nobody's gonna say is not a championship program, but Prairie View average more fans than them.
Yeah.
Prairie View average more people than them, right? The issue they're gonna say is, well, look how many people Jackson's averaging, or Southern's averaging, or FAM averaging. That's cool. Listen, that's good. That's great for them, right? But again, we're talking about on a large scale of all FCS programs. We're talking about a large scale of even all HBCU programs. Prairie View's not a program that don't got fan support. It's like this is the craziest lie that has continued to have momentum, because I keep telling y'all, right? Lies move faster than the truth. But I'm only saying it because this is on HBCU Coaching Corner with the arbiter of truth there, but yet he continued to let this fallacy of a narrative fly all the time, right?
Yeah.
Which don't make no sense. Because even when Prairie View has been trying to get over the hump to actually win the SWAC championship since 2009, there's always been fan support. Does that fan support look like 20,000? No. But there's always been fan support. Always. It has never not been there, right? What they're trying to do is say, well, your fan support doesn't look like such and such fan support over here. That's cool. That's not the same thing as not having fan support. Because people keep trying to make 9,000, 12. And I don't understand what math they math. They ain't no math. That's not how math works, okay? You can't make 9,000, 12, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole
See, now
lot of
also, see, and this is the thing. See, and this is why I tell you, right? This is why I keep saying, this is why I keep catching people in what they're talking about. These are the same people who will come on my platform and tell me that I can't wear a shirt where we're declaring that we're going to be the SWAC championships, because that's a lie, right? But yet they will continue to uphold the lie that has been created from time again, right? You know what I'm saying? But married with me because I keep correcting the lie, right? You know what I'm saying? But now he's saying it's freedom of speech. So that's what I'm saying. When I say people talk out both sides of their neck all the time, and that's why I keep trying to help y'all at PV Nation understand. Y'all can't listen to these people. Y'all can't worry about nothing they talking about and nothing they saying. Because the same people who keep saying 12 is the same people who over here who will say, oh, but you making shirts and y'all ain't done nothing yet. You making shirts, you lying, right? You losing all credibility. But listen, do they lose credibility when they told you that you only got 12 fans showing up at your game? Did they lose credibility when they told you that you don't got no fan support? Did they lose credibility when they told you that you don't be having nobody in your stands? Listen, they done sold you that so much that even some of your own alum will start spewing the same lies that they be saying. That's how much they done told y'all that. That's how much they done put it in the air and the atmosphere, right? So now when I'm coming and correcting all the foolishness, right, on behalf of PV Nation, so we can understand, you know what, you're right. I don't know why I'm tripping. I don't even know why I'm listening to these people believing that, right? Because you don't need fans to be a championship program. I mean, PWI programs prove that. NCCU proved that, right? Howard just got to this wannabe act and got to the Celebration Bowl. They ain't got nobody showing up at their games. They really ain't got you talking about Prairie View ain't got nobody showing up at the games. They ain't got nobody showing up at the games. And then first of all, if y'all believe the lies that Texas Southern say about the people that be at their games, they don't have nobody at their games. Let's be clear, right? So whatever numbers they be putting into the NCAA don't even matter, because we already know it ain't true. So ain't no point in even worry about what these people say. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Ain't no point in y'all worrying about what none of these people be saying to y'all. Just keep stand on your own 10, because they listen. While the same time they will tell you spouting a lie, they will continue to spout a lie. They will continue to do that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the truth is, they ain't no such, and I keep trying to tell y'all too, there really ain't no such thing as HBCU. If we ain't talking about like actually supporting the academic programs, like obviously that's one thing, right? If we talk about all these schools and why they was established and us helping supporting Black people for real on the ground up, yeah, we understand that, right? But when it comes to sports, there ain't no such thing as HBCU. All that stuff they talking about don't even listen to what they talking about. It make no sense. Because if your school do good, they gonna hate it, right? If your school got something popping, they're gonna try to hold you to something else. That's what they're gonna keep doing. But all they doing is lying. So listen, don't worry about when they tell you, oh, where you lying? Are you saying this? Because these are the same people who done been spewing that narrative for the last 3-4 years. And you know it, even when you looking at that data, they still lying to you. And they're still holding their line, right? So I just want to say that, right? Because the whole question itself is a fallacy in the first place, right? And now, listen, it's supposed to be HBCU coaches corner who hold to the numbers though. And I'm challenging Mr. Campbell because he's supposed to hold to the numbers, but see, he don't be correcting the numbers. He don't be telling the truth, right? And again, I keep telling y'all, how you a school that got one of the 3 largest FCS games in the history of FCS games, and you ain't got no fan support. Somebody tell me how that works. How did that even work? How did that even make sense? Listen,
math, not math.
If that's even one home game, that first of all, that rivals most of all these other schools in the first place. Let's be clear, right? There's other programs who never even see that number in any of their games, right? So how you gonna let somebody tell you what kind of support you got? It don't even make no sense, right? It's dumb for you to even think anything they saying makes sense, right? That's why you can't be worried about what people say. See, this is why we here. This is why we here. Because PV versus everybody is helping y'all to understand the real narrative around here, around the hill. Because ain't nobody else gonna tell your story like you tell your story. All they gonna do is tell you stories. And when I say stories there, I'm talking about lies, not truth, okay? They ain't gonna tell your story like you tell your story. They just gonna tell you stories. All right. We need to put that on the shirt. All right. We need to put that on the shirt. So, man, with that said, man, hey, we gotta switch. I'm off my soapbox, and even grammar. See, I'm happy Mr. Campbell missing grammar. Because listen, the reality is, Prairie View to average more people at home games than Grambling. But how many people over here? Now, how many people out here saying, man, Grambling ain't got no fan attendance, man, Grambling ain't got no support, man, Grambling ain't got this, Grambling, they ain't saying about Graham, are they? But see, you will let them say that about you, but another school that actually ain't got as much support as you at your home games, they ain't gonna say that about them, right? Because see, they want to give a little bit more respect to them, right? See, that's why I'm saying, you gotta make people respect you. You can't worry about them. You can't worry about them respecting you. You gotta just take your respect. All right, you know what I'm saying? That's why we here. That's why we got PV versus everybody. That's why we here right now. You know what I'm saying? We here right now because we can't rely on other people to tell the truth. We can't rely on other people to tell the truth. They not gonna. I don't care how much they say they're gonna tell the truth. They ain't gonna tell the truth, right? There were a lot of lies around them all the time. And I just told people this in my church the other day, right? And then we're gonna be on, right? I just told them because I say, listen, if some information come up to you about somebody else in this church body, and you say to yourself, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Listen, that's incorrect, right? You are your brother's keeper, right? So it is your obligation to go to that individual and to correct that erroneous information about their character. That actually is your job. God brought that to your attention so that you can actually correct that erroneous information about their character and let them two people be reconciled back together. It's not for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna close my eyes, put my hand in the sand, right? Act like I don't hear nothing, act like I don't know nothing. No. It came to your attention so you can correct that erroneous information about their character and bring them two people back together. Let them be reconciled, right? You to help and to assist that, right? Now listen, that's the same thing in these HBCU streets. That's why I gotta help y'all understand there ain't no HBCU unity. PV Nation, it's about PV Nation versus everybody. It's about PV Nation versus everybody, right? Because listen, these same people who hear all these lies about Prairie View, they don't correct these lies about Prairie View, right? They not out here correcting the character of Prairie View, right? Talking about Prairie View ain't got no fan support, which you already know don't make sense. The data already show you it don't make no sense. Because if they would say that about you, they would have to say, listen, this is the reality. If they have to say that about you, they got to say that about another 11 of the HBCUs, and they never gonna say that. Listen, they never gonna say that. So don't worry about what they talking about. Don't worry about what they talking about. Listen, don't worry about what they talking about. Because they listen. The reality is they get at you because they know you the most. They know you the most dangerous out here. That's the reason they get at you. That's the reason they don't listen. That's the reason that everybody's in the chat because they know PV Nation dangerous. They know they dangerous. And listen, that's why listen, BJ Jones even said it last night. I respect the BJ Jones because he say, listen, he already said 2 programs get it right. Alabama State and Prairie View. If they get it right, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. Listen, nobody listen, the reality is nobody worry about Morgan State, bro. People ain't worried about Howard. They really not even worried about Grambling. They not worried about these schools. They really not, right? They worry about Prairie View. That's why they get at you. They get at you because they know if you actually get past the lie they saying and actually realize what the real is, dangerous. That's why they scared of Coach Jack right now. That's why they scared of me out here telling y'all that we gonna win swag championship. That's why they don't make me money on t-shirts. It ain't got nothing to do with anything. Because listen, if this was anything else, they wouldn't care about nothing. They know because, like, man, if that Prairie View fan base and them 80,000 plus alum actually step up and all of them get behind what's going on, man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But anyway, listen, let's move on. We got to preach tonight, all right? We got to preach and talk about it, right? Because so the reality is that they what the reality. You see what say. That they live in willful ignorance. That's what they live in, willful ignorance.
So they want to
willful ignorance. Now, see, now Mr. Campbell say he's supporting, but listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, real support me. Listen, let me tell you, when your friends really support you, listen, when your friends really see, I'm teaching lessons today, right? I'm teaching lessons today. When your friends really support you, they don't hear other people talking about you and let them talk about you. We own it.
Go sit
we own it, Mr. Mickey. When your friends really support you, when you not there, and some other people named Sam Southern, right? When other people named Mick Grambling, right? When some other people there named Joseph Florida A&M, right? When other people there and they talking about you, your friends gonna correct them and say, nah, that's not true.
That ain't how they go.
That ain't true. That ain't factual, right? Y'all saying PP ain't got no support. That ain't true. That ain't what the data say. That ain't what the numbers say, right? That's what friends would do if they support you, all right? So don't let this fake support fly. We ain't gonna let this fake support fly, all right? You know what I'm saying? Mr. Campbell got to stand on that support by correcting these people on HBCU Coach's Corner when Rocky asks stupid questions. Like, can your fan, because first of all, it's a dumb question anyway, because you ain't got to have fan support to win championships. There's so many programs that are showing that. So it's already a dumb question anyway. But when he asks that dumb question that comes from a dumb reality of something that's false, when Mr. Campbell steps up and actually says, Rocky, that narrative is a lie in the first place. Prairie View has had support. They had one game that this narrative is run off of. When he do that, then we will actually accept that Mr. Campbell support us. But we ain't gonna listen. We ain't gonna accept that he support us when he's sitting there and he letting him tell that lie over and over and over again. No. We're not gonna accept that, Mr. Campbell. You gotta listen. You gotta show your support. You gotta actually show your support, and it gotta be manifested. All right. You can't just say you support us,
Mr. Campbell. My bad.
He said, "Where's Miak Mike?" Where is Miak Mike? He said, Mr. Campbell thinks because he's giving donations all from ignorance. Mr. Campbell's not ignorant, first of all. Let's be clear. He's not ignorant. He know the truth, right? So this ain't even about Mr. Campbell being ignorant. He know the truth. He know this is lies. He know these lies. He know this is not truth. All right? He know this is not truth. He know this ain't truth. But all I'm saying is listen. We listen. Y'all be talking about these deals with ESPN and all this other stuff, right? And how they talk about ESPN just giving us what we ain't getting, like exposure coins. Y'all call it exposure coins, right? With ESPN and stuff. Listen, we ain't giving no support coins in Prairie View. Prairie View ain't giving no support coins because listen, the reality is we don't even need y'all support. I don't care about y'all support anyway in the first place. Okay, we don't need y'all support. We got PV Nation. Okay, but if y'all really do support us, then y'all ain't gonna be allowing these narratives to fly that y'all been letting fly these last 3-4 years.
You gotta cut that off. Cut it off.
Y'all ain't gonna let these narratives fly. So if you letting these narratives fly, I already know you ain't a supporter. Y'all just talking. Y'all just, like I already told y'all, what song they be playing the HBCUs? Nick talking out the side of both of them. Nick talking out the side of both of them. Y'all just mad that I'm calling y'all on the truth because y'all been spouting these lies But then y'all come on my platform and y'all go on all these platforms, talk about me making shirts. That I'm lying with these shirts. But yet y'all been lying on Prairie View Nation for the last 4 years. Called him. I called him again. I done called. Listen, one show, I done called like 4 lies on one show. That was a great HBCU coach going. Magnifico. I done called like 4 lies on one truth. 4 lies on one truth. Now,
glued to the screen.
Listen, 4 lies on one truth. Now, what was the truth? This was the truth.
They talking crazy now. We ain't used to that. Like,
well, hey, listen, I was like, I had to get my popcorn. I was like, okay, Prairie View, they got grandma, got a shook.
Well, let me tell y'all something, y'all 2 Southern Jaguars. This one of my proteges at Prairie View, and he ain't just talking. You guys better be ready to damn strip it up, lock it up, and get the mouthpieces in, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm taking Dion's word. They coming.
Hey, listen. I see Mr. McKinnell's in the chat. Shouts out to you. You know what I'm saying? See, Mr. McKinnell. See, he is fair across the board. I ain't never heard Mr. Zach come on and say Prairie View ain't got no support. I ain't never heard him say nothing like that. He say, nah, I ain't in them conversations. He say, listen, either your transfer portal is good or it's trash. All right, either you got a good team or you don't. Either I'm with your purple and gold or I'm with a different purple and gold. Right? You know, I can roll with that. I can roll with that. If he with us, because he's saying it's about what's on the field. Okay, cool. We can have that conversation. Because I'm sure if I ask, see, Zach follows a lot of Zach, you answer the question in the chat for me. Do you have to have fan support to win championships? Because I know you've seen a lot of conferences. Because some of these black people who only in HBCU world, they think you got to have fan support to win championships. Like, is that true or is that a lie? First of all, because like I keep saying, y'all act like NCCU out here averaging 20,000 people in their stadium or something. What's wrong with y'all? NCCU busting people up and down, and they ain't got no 20,000 people supporting them. What you talking about? So you already know you ain't got to have all this fan support be a championship program. Now the reality is, though, like I keep saying, we got fan support. So I ain't about to let y'all lie. And listen, I ain't about to call y'all a supporter when y'all support lies, because y'all not a supporter. All right, y'all just talking. Okay, y'all just talking. Now listen, let's get to the next thing. All right.
Okay. Get the next one.
Hey, listen, and that's the thing. See, last night was supposed to be a Southern show, but who they all were talking about? Who all? Listen, I tell you, PV Nation is what the talk is right now. See, we told him. T-Jack told him, listen, we giving them all this content because listen, everybody knows about PV Nation right now. They know what it's about, man. Man, don't let these folks tell you stories. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them folks tell you stories. Oh, hold up. Definitely not. I think UIW might have had 700 fans show up for all 8 home games and won the Southland Conference every year. Hold up now. Mr. Zach is across the board. He sees more than just HBCU and SWAC football. Now, I may disagree with the 700. I think they probably around 1,500, 2,000, but the point is still a point, okay? Ain't nobody showing up no UIW games, bro. And they still winning championships. They winning championships year after year. Listen, they're a top 25 program right now. Many of y'all scared to play them right now. We not, but y'all are, because y'all want to play these SWAC non-conference out-of-conference games. All right? But we ain't scared to play them. So listen, now we got to get to my boy. Now we got to get to the West Coast, right? We've already talked about what happened out East. We done went from East. We done went Central. Now we got to talk out West, because these people out West, they must be on some Cali Kush or something, because they talking real outside they neck too. Okay, they talking real outside they neck too. So we got to pull this up. Mr. Mickens, I'm gonna let you take it away, because I know you got the screen control. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you take it away, and we're gonna listen to my guy Kelly Flicks and see what he talks. See if he talking about another side of his neck.
Go ahead, listen to what Tremaine Jackson has to say out of Prairie View.
Practice 7. How's everything going for you so far?
Yeah, it's been okay. We're still getting guys acclimated to the heat. We went back to morning practice just because we needed to get guys in the heat. They need to feel the sun. The way we ball is a little bit different from everybody else. Some people run from it. We don't. We run to it. And we've been proud of our guys because they've been able to get through it and still get better. So it's so much better than we were when we first started. But we're still not where we want to be. We're operating at about 60% of how I want to practice. And so ultimately, we're going to get there. But we're practicing harder than people I talk to. So I guess that's something to look forward to.
So you're all.
Hold on. I've been trying to figure out what that means. we've been practicing harder than some people that I talked to. So he talked to some other SWAC coaches, and they like, man, we ain't going that hard. Like, what does that really mean? I like Coach Jackson. I'm not gonna lie, I like Coach Jackson. Especially come from D2 level. I rock with you. Let's keep watching this stuff.
Ultimate goal going into the next.
That's something to look forward to.
So your ultimate goal going into the next 2 weeks, what are you be looking for?
Yeah, we got to find out what the team is. We knew the spring team, we had a summer team, and then we're trying to find out what their team is and who are the leaders of that team and who are going to be the starters. So we got a little time left, but we don't have much. We'll do that over the next 2 weeks. Looking forward to our scrimmage on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's put this in context, right? My boy, Coach Jackson is looking rough. Lights out again. My boy, Coach Jackson is looking rough. But one thing I will say though, when it comes to fall camp, training camp, everybody and their mama looking rough. Where my lights at, man? It's got dark up in here again. We keep these outages. Dude, that's funny. There we go. One thing that happens in camp though is the fact that, look, man, nobody getting haircuts. Everybody tired. You talk about camp, that means you got practice from 8 a.m. all the way to like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., or it might just be start at 8 a.m. So just the scheduling in general, everybody gonna look whooped. So my boy look whooped. All right, cool. The point that I really want to make was something he said around here, right? He talked about who's gonna be the starters, who's gonna be the team, who is gonna be on the team. And this is where I say when I talk about Coach Jackson's first year, right? Talking big in your first year is great and it sounds all cool, but when you know the realities of the situation, where you don't even know your first 11 starters, but we talking about how we're gonna take over the SWAC. 1 + 1 don't equal 2 in that situation. If you try and name starters and try and name wins, you can't do both at the same time. You can't. I mean, you can't. If you don't know your starting quarterback is, you can't tell me how many wins you're gonna get. You can't. You just can't. It's impossible, right? So a lot of how smoke Coach Jackson been pushing in the offseason, talking about what type of players they want to recruit and bring in here, what they're gonna do in the SWAC, how they plan on doing things and doing things differently than all the other coaches in the SWAC. Well, here we are, where the rubber meets the road. Dog days of summer. We got about 2 weeks to the first game, and here you are explaining the realities of the situation, keeping it real with the situation. We don't know who our starters are. Out of this to Jackson State said, TC Taylor said, we have an elite offensive line, and Coach Jackson is saying, I don't know who my starters are. Two way different mindsets. Completely different mindsets. One is trying to improve their offensive line that they feel is elite. One is trying to find offensive line starters. These two are not the same. Plan A is different for these two coaches. That's why in the offseason I go, well, he has a hard time in the first couple games, first season, because there's always a transition period. You want your personnel, you want your players, but you also, as much as you think you know which coaches you need, after this first 6 games, you're going to know what coaches you need. Keep it a bean. If you had the same staff from last place or not, after the first 6 games, you'll know which coaches you need to win in the SWAC. Even though you may feel like before the season, you feel like you got the guys. Ask Coach Prime. Remember when TC Taylor was coaching the offense, and the offense was averaging like 25 points a game with Shador Sanders? Made that change real fast, right? When they brought in Coach Bartolone, right? Remember Bartolone? He was an offensive analyst from Nevada. Jackson State brings him in to be offensive coordinator because Coach Prime realized to win in the SWAC, Coach TC Taylor ain't going to work out an offensive coordinator. Same thing's going to happen with Coach Jackson at PV, right? As much as you feel like this and that, there is a learning curve, along with a curve on bringing players in. And the rubber will meet the road. And listening to this right here, it don't sound as confident as it usually sounds. And it's probably because it's in the middle of camp. And I saw him in the interview last night. He looked much more confident. But hearing what he says, understanding what's going on, PV, all that 6-7 wins, all that SWAC championship, you have to slow it down. Let's focus on beating Southern. Right? Let's beat Southern this year, guys.
Woo. Ooh, I know there's a lot, y'all. I know.
And then go from there. Maybe that's point A for us.
I know there was a lot, y'all. Pause it for me.
Southern.
Listen. After hearing that, I know we need to refresh for a second, right? So let's take 30 seconds to refresh, and then we're gonna get back.
Talking crazy now. We ain't used to that. Like,
well, hey, listen, I was like, I had to get my popcorn. I was like, okay, Prairie View, they got Grambling, got a shook.
Well, let me tell y'all something, y'all two Southern Jaguars. This one of my proteges at Prairie View, and he ain't just talking. You guys better be ready to damn strip it up, lock it up, and get the mouthpieces in, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm taking Dion's word. They coming.
Listen, now that we got this refresher, Mr. Mickens, man, what's your thoughts on this, man? This West Coast Cali Kush, it must be good. What's your thoughts on this, man?
Man, that's better comedy than Bernie Mac. I'm just saying, I don't and that's kind of a bad spot where I froze a bit, my bad. But I mean, how many ways can you tell me you didn't even peek at our roster, even the one that don't have all the players on it, without telling me you hadn't peeked at the roster? So that's pretty funny. And he's talking about beating Southern. We got to win the first game. So Southern's down the line. So I guess he just pulls teams out the air. I was trying to figure out what data he was going to use to support the reckless talk that he was doing. And you didn't get to it yet, but he said some interesting stuff about UTRGV, which I could tell he didn't study them either. Now, people going to laugh in the comments, talk bad about me all you want. But if you actually look at that team, they are University of Texas. They're just in Rio Grande. They have put a lot of money behind that team. Not saying they're going to be good first year, but I'm just saying they put a lot of money behind that team. This is not some NAIA team. I give them 2 years. I give them 3 years, and they'll be past most of the SWAC teams. So while he, because he has said some interesting stuff about the Prairie View schedule. Is it the hardest schedule we've had in years? No. But to me, it's a good schedule because we have how many SWAC opponents that were scheduled as non-conference? How many we have?
Yeah, I keep saying that, Zach. It ain't gonna take them long. This is a huge school, buddy. They got a lot of resources behind them. It ain't gonna take them long to be fighting for the top of the Southland, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, they've sold out already of their season tickets, and this is their first year. So all they had to do is be okay this year, and they'll still have support. They're excited about that team, so they're gonna get some serious support. So
yeah, and we're gonna let the rest of it roll. But first thing I just gotta say, man, is I think there's a misunderstanding that people are funny, man. People are funny because they will read a lot of stuff in the things that's not there, right? And he even said, I heard his interview the other day, and he seemed a lot more confident. I mean, listen, man, the man's just coming from leaving the field, going through scrimmage in the dog days of summer and fall camp, right? You know what I'm saying? You acknowledge that yourself, right? You look beat up, look tired. People don't get haircuts. What does that have to do with confidence? I'm confused, right? Because obviously the next time you seen him, he said the same thing, right? He was on HBCU Coach Corner again, by the way, another show. And Mr. Campbell can tell him, right? Because he asked what the standard was. He told him, host a SWAC championship, win it, go to the Celebration Bowl, win that too, right? So obviously didn't change his mindset and thought process. But I think people don't understand that Coach Jackson is coming in with a certain standard in mind that he has and that he's looking for, right? That's the thing that's missing here that he's not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I was trying to, if I was on my computer, I could get the call-in line up, but because my computer has been giving me trouble, that's the reason I don't have a call-in line up, unfortunately. So if I can figure something out to get it up, then I would definitely get it up for you guys. But yeah, that's the reason it's not up right now. But it was ready to go. But the thing is, right, this is the word, right? Competition. I think people ain't heard it in a long time. Listen, competition, all right?
Oh,
And when you bringing in guys that at every level, I mean, literally, there's competition in every single room. That has nothing to do with him being that he got elite guys in the room. But listen, if I got 10 guys as elite, I still got to make the determination to see, hey, man, which one of these guys that we brought in is going to lead us right in the tight end room, is going to lead us right in the wide receiver room, is going to lead us right in the DB room at the end of the day. That doesn't mean, right, that there isn't elite competition in the room. You know, again, this is just him reading into this, whatever he wants to read, misunderstanding the fact that, man, listen, PB has brought in some dogs, all right? You know what I'm saying? He done brought in some dogs, right? We talked about the defensive back room all the time. I haven't seen a situation like this where you talking about all of these transfers coming in, having plenty of snaps under their belt. They're coming from programs where they were that guy at their program and they're coming in. So you got to make a determination. And I told y'all this before, right? Even in the spring. Man, listen, that DB room, like, man, I can't even lie. I don't know who gonna be slotted in as day one starters because there's so many guys who can get it, right? They got multiple guys who are like that on this team. And at the end of the day, right, he's building this team so it's a program to where there is no drop down between the ones and the twos. There is no drop down between the twos and the threes. And that's what he's trying to do across the board, right? And so at the end of the day, right, competition. Oh, and that go that West Coast Cali. That go that West Coast Cali Kush. That West Coast Cali Kush is in the chat. The West Coast Cali Kush is here. Let's go. All right. Listen. What West Coast failed to realize is that word competition, right? Competition, all right, is in every room on the hill right now. And so at the end of the day, it don't mean that the rooms ain't elite, but boys still got to determine, right? We still got to determine, right, who's gonna be that day one starter. That has nothing to do with the talent that's in the room at all whatsoever. Period, point blank, right? Let's play. He got front row seats. Let's play the rest of them. Go let it roll, Mr. Nichols.
All right, let it roll. Let's see what we got here. We need to let Kelly Flicks tell it for us.
Shut up. It runs through Southern. If you can't beat them, don't pop it. Just don't. Do us all a favor. You save us all the watch hours and just don't pop it. Because at the end of the day, you have to play these teams. So let's go through PV's schedule. I'm popping it.
Oh, here you go, man.
I'm popping it on them.
This is it right here. This is it.
All right, so let's check out the Preview and them schedule. Boom, bow, bing.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I know I don't play. I'm doing it on live.
Let's go.
2025. I said schedule. No, thank you. All right, here we go. Schedule. Let's go through. Got my pen. Got my sheet of paper. All right, PV. I ain't playing with you, Tremaine Jackson. All right, game one at Texas Southern.
That's funny.
Skill-wise, I think Prairie View A&M will be better. Who do I think wins the game? Texas Southern. Give Texas Southern that win. All right. Next game, GRV, whatever. They are a glorified intramural team. This is their first year playing football, and they're playing Division I.
Yeah.
Beat their ass. That's a win for PV, right? I got one win for PV right there. All right, so now we got PV on there. Next game, at Rouse. That's it. At Rice, you're finna get cooked. It's over. At Northwestern State, this should be a resounding W. This non-conference slate overall is booty cheeks. Very soft. UTRGV, Vaqueros, first year program. Northwestern State lost like 60 games in a row. Something crazy like that. Down at the bottom down here, y'all ain't seen it yet. Lincoln, California is a homecoming game.
Yeah. We got stuck.
3 of the 4 non-conference games you're playing against are either barely Division I programs or non-NCAA affiliated, other than Rice. I digress, though. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead. Let's predict the schedule, though. Let's predict the schedule. Rice, that's an L. Northwestern State, that's a win for PV. Grambling, I'm not that confident, but it's at home. And PV beat Grambling, I think the last time they did the State Fair Classic. Get the odds to PV, right? PV, that's 3 wins. 3 wins, 2 losses so far. Moving up, you got Alcorn, that's a loss. Alcorn, that's a win for Alcorn. You got a bye. Hopefully you win that. Next, you go at Southern, that's another loss. After Southern, you play against Lincoln, California, that's a win. Right? Then you play Alabama State, that's a loss. You ain't beating Bama State. I ain't seeing that.
Okay, you only beat them, well, how many times in the last 11 years?
9 out of 10 against Alabama State. 9 out of 10 against Texas Southern. 6 out of 7 the last against Grambling. Just let it roll, though. Let's let it roll, because he makes a statement that I want to respond to, too.
Another loss. I think that would be a great game. A great game, right? Because you think about the 2 former Division II coaches. You got Coach Sam Shea going against Jermaine Jackson. Sam Shea was leading a very strong Miles team that won the SIC championship and won a playoff game. At that same time, Coach Jermaine Jackson was out Valdosta State coaching a top-ranked Valdosta State team that went on to lose in the championship, right? They actually could have played each other in an alternate universe. This will be a great game. But I think Alabama A&M has a better roster than Prairie View A&M, right? So I give the odds to Alabama A&M. Next game, you got UAPB. That's a win for PV. And then you got Mississippi Valley State. All right. According to my notepad right here, we got 1 win, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 losses. A 6-6 even schedule, right?
Okay.
Say we go 6-6. Now, keep in mind, of the 6 wins, we're beating Mississippi Valley, UAPB, Lincoln, California Oaklanders, Northwestern State, and UTR GV HGTV. That's the 5th win. Understand the wins. This schedule is soft. It's charming soft. It might be soft. It ain't softer than Morgan State's. It's up there, though. You got Morgan State level softness, and then right underneath Morgan State level softness, you got Prairie View A&M level softness to schedule. It's that close. It's margins. I don't know too many other schools in the country that play UAPB and Mississippi Valley.
All right. Okay. Now, just pause it for me. Hey, Mr. Mickens, can you do me a favor and look up Mississippi Valley schedule? Okay. Can you do me a favor and look up Mississippi Valley schedule? Now, why we do that though, right? Listen, I can't listen to nobody who don't even know that Sam Shea got cooked in the D2 playoffs by one Tremaine Jackson. How you want me to listen to this person? How you want me to think that he knows anything about what he's talking about? Because listen, if he ain't looked enough to know that Coach Tremaine Jackson cooked Sam Shea, then you really want me to believe that he didn't really look at Prairie View's program and really is giving an accurate assessment based on what he really feels after he's looked at the program? He ain't looked at nothing. That man just talking. He ain't did not a lick. See, that's why I say I can respect Zach, because Zach gonna say, I don't think y'all gonna win because of this, and this. Period, right? I can agree with him. I can listen to him. But now I'm gonna listen to Tim Rosario more, because Tim already say Prairie View is that team. Okay, I'm listening to him more. But my point is, they didn't actually look at what they talking about at least, right? I can respect that. I can respect their boys that actually looked at and paid attention to what they talking about. They're not like these trolls on here who just be talking just for no reason, right? But now my guy from Cali, on that good Cali Kush, is
That was
saying
good.
something of what he
Okay.
knows not. Because if he don't even know, see, he done made 2 blunders already. He already done made 2 blunders. The first blunder he made was on one of his other shows when he said that Coach Tremaine Jackson had a bad first year at Colorado Mesa, not realizing that Coach Tremaine Jackson didn't coach Colorado Mesa that year. He was 2-1 in his first year, and obviously had the winning season, the huge winning season in the second year. So let's be clear. So that was already incorrect. Now he come with his second incorrect piece of information. Not even know that that alternative universe he talked about is the actual universe. Okay, the alternative universe where Coach Tremaine Jackson and Sam Shea play each other was the actual universe, right? The alternative universe would be them not playing. All right, that would be the alternative universe because they actually did play, and Miles got smoked. Coach Sam Shea got smoked, right? So again, how y'all want me to believe and listen to somebody, right, who I know ain't even looked into the program? You know what I'm saying? Now, I done dropped the link, so if he want to come up and correct his incorrect information, I done dropped the link, okay?
Yeah,
so it's there. You want to come up on StreamYard? All you got to do is click the link and come on up right and correct the incorrect information. But according to what he's saying right here, he said that they ain't play. That was if an alternate, but listen, they did play, okay? And they got their business to him. Now, he also said, who else plays UAPB and who? What's that name of the school? What's that name? Valley? Mississippi Valley. Oh, I wonder who else plays there. Can you make that bigger? Can you make the screen bigger so we can all see this together, right? Because he's saying this schedule is soft. Oh, this schedule is soft. Oh, such a soft schedule. Oh, it's so charming, soft. Such a soft schedule. This is interesting, right? Now, he also says they ain't got nothing to do with it because of the SWAC game, right? I understand that, right? The SWAC mandated that we play Valley and UAPB this year. So even though he mentioned that, he said, oh, well, the SWAC mandated that, right? But who else plays UAPB and Mississippi Valley? Oh, I wonder who else plays them. Let's just pay attention, shall we? Shall we pay attention to 2025? Now, who might that be on the second game of the year in week 1 playing one Mississippi Valley State? Mr. Mickens, what school name is that right there? What school name is that?
Looks like Southern. Trying to make
out. It looks like Southern University. Mr. Kelly Flicks. Mr. Kelly Flicks. Where are you in the comments, Mr. Kelly Flicks? I need, come on, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, I need you to come up because you're wondering who else plays. So I'm going to help you understand who else plays. Okay. Because I know you didn't research it. So I'm going to show you who else plays Mississippi Valley and UAPB. You know that Southern's in the West, right? So I hope you know that Southern's in the West at least, right? So I shouldn't have to explain to you that Southern already plays UAPB every year, right? I'm just going to assume you know that already, okay? But because you didn't know that Sam Shade and Tremaine Jackson play, but I'm gonna assume that you know that already, my guy. But listen, you know who else plays them? Southern University. Though this team that you keep saying, that you keep bringing up, that we got, oh Southern, oh big bad Southern. Listen, man. And let me tell you something, Mr. Kelly Flicks. You know what's even more booty cheeks as you quantify it? You know what's even more booty cheeks? You know this ain't even a conference game. Oh, this not even a conference game. You telling me that Southern playing Mississippi Valley and it ain't even a conference game? That's a non-conference game. But our schedule, all right. Now, and this the reality, right? And this I've been told y'all all today already. That's why y'all can't be listening to people, right? Because y'all already know, right? This schedule for this year, this ain't even no. And first of all, I ain't got nothing to do with Northwestern being bad. They ain't got nothing to do with me, right? I ain't got listen, UTRGV, I ain't got nothing to do with that either. Listen, these are Southland Conference programs. We done been playing all the Southland Conference programs who want to get on the schedule except SFA because they already know we gave them their business years ago. They never want to be on our schedule again. But everybody in Southland, we play them. We play them, all right? So I don't want to hear nothing about none of y'all talking about no schedule. I don't care what y'all talk about the schedule in the first place, right? The schedule could be the worst schedule in the world. It don't matter to me. We win the chip, all right? But the reality is, y'all already know, bruh. We the one, right, who out here really playing teams. Last time I checked, I ain't never seen none of these other schools step out and play UI-Dub. I ain't never seen none of these other schools step out and play a UI-Dub. I ain't never seen none of these other schools step out and schedule a home and home with a Tarleton State. I ain't know where I seen that. You seen any of these other SWAC schools scheduling ACU, Abilene Christian on their schedule? I ain't never seen none of that. So listen, when these people talking about schedule in the first place, y'all can't listen to them anyway, because Prairie View's the only school who out here who really scheduling real out of conference games in the first place, right? Period, point blank. Y'all can't point to no other SWAC school that's doing that. Tell me, am I lying, Mr. Kelly Flick? Are we looking over the last 5-6 years?
That's what I'll say.
What are the SWAC schools doing that?
Schedule for a good new head coach. You know, we talk about UGR TV, and you talk about Rice, you talk about Lincoln. The non-conference is non-conference. Are we fighting this? Y'all think that's a tough non-conference slate?
Nobody said it was tough.
Listen. The correction I'm making, hold on. But I'm making a correction, right? Because your statement was, first of all, I'm correcting the fact that you said, I don't know who else playing UAPB and Mississippi Valley. So your beloved Southern that you're bringing up?
It might be 4 other teams. It might be.
So then, see, and this is why I said when I talked about Mr. Campbell earlier. So then have the conversation correctly then. You over here, Prairie View's schedule is booty cheeks. Who else plays UAPB and Valley? But you tell me 4 other schools playing these same teams.
Yeah, just about 4 of the schools in the whole nation. So about 4 schools and about out of 200 schools are playing UAPB and Valley and PV.
How many others in the SWAC? How many other schools in the SWAC though?
Great schedule.
How many other schools in the SWAC playing these school teams though?
The SWAC makes that schedule.
Yeah,
the SWAC makes that schedule.
Of course, the SWAC makes this. I'm not saying the fact that.
No, incorrect. No, Southern has a non-conference game against Valley. No, Southern got a non-conference game against Valley.
Benefits from having UAPB and Valley on the schedule. Just nothing but a joke, but it's the truth. That's all.
But Mr. Kelly, you not acknowledging that Southern has a non-conference game against Valley.
PV doesn't schedule.
This not a non-conference game for us. This is literally just a SWAC game, right? This is a non-conference game for Valley. I mean, Southern got against Valley.
And that's, yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? You good?
Yep.
No, that was hilarious though. UTRGB HGTV was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was funny.
No, that was funny. I ain't gonna lie right there. The HGTV, that was pretty funny.
But go ahead. Go defend. Come on, Mr. I don't like people come on platform like this having to defend themselves.
In year 1, I'll say that. And for all my trolling I was doing the rage bait, and I do like what Coach TJ got down there, and I made a gang of tweets about the type of recruits they got and the personnel they bringing in. Just to me, I was my first time actually doing a schedule review for PV and actually taking a look at what's going on. I go, oh, this is actually pretty good for Coach TJ.
Yeah, listen, it really don't matter the schedule we got. It just was what it was today, right? Like I say, we got Tarleton the next 2 years. You can't name me another school that in the last 7 years have played Tarleton State twice, Abilene Christian twice, Incarnate Word 3 times. None of these SWAC schools playing nowhere near schedules that Prairie View's playing at all, right? Yeah. Now this year, y'all are harping on this schedule this year because we had a horrible game against North American that turned into Lincoln, which I completely agree. I never liked that game, right? You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, Northwestern State and UTRGV are Southland Conference teams. It ain't my problem that they not good right now. That's not my problem, right? Because the game was scheduled years ago. So that ain't my problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me, right? Tell them to get their weight up. But I also am the only SWAC school out here that's played UIW, Tarleton, and Abilene Christian. Y'all got to give me credit for that. Because Southern over the last few years, D2 schools and non-conference SWAC games. So y'all, I don't want to hear none of y'all talk about my schedule. Because I know what I do.
Yeah, yep. Because even Valley played Austin P, and we don't see some of the so-called big dogs playing teams like that.
None of them schools play nobody. They all play D2 schools, and they all play teams in the SWAC for non-conference, right? So I'm really, to be honest, I don't care what people say about the schedule, whether it's what they think is good or bad or we could stop. Don't matter to me. I don't care. We win a championship anyway. It don't matter. I don't care. They ain't gonna look back and say, "Oh, what was your schedule that you won a championship?" When FAMU won a championship a few years ago, nobody looked at their schedule and said, "Man, they had 2 D2 schools on their schedule that year, so that made their schedule where they can get through it easier." Nobody cares about that. All they say is FAMU won championship. That's last time I checked. Last time I checked, you know what I'm saying? So
Look,
to me, it don't matter.
That's a soft schedule. Anybody else got teams like this, that's a soft schedule too. It's just what it is. I mean, I think this is good for a first-year coach, right? It makes sense. It'd be different if this is like his third year around, right? It's not what Jackson State is scheduling. Every coach is different. Every program's a little bit
Jackson
different.
State don't
But
got no. Jackson State don't schedule nobody. Who does Jackson State schedule?
Southern Miss, you got Southern Miss on there. You got Hampton on there, and then you
Who
got
else you got on there?
a bye game versus
Langston,
Tuskegee.
Lane.
No, you got a bye game versus Tuskegee. It's a new class at Jackson State.
Tuskegee, right? I'm saying, like, again, right? When I'm talking, I'm not just speaking about a 1 year thing, right? I'm talking about how schedules have been made over the SWAC over the last few years, right? These schools ain't scheduling nobody, but they ain't scheduling nobody, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's okay, right? Hey, you still there?
Yeah, I think
Your camera went out.
Yeah, the camera did something weird.
I think I still hear you, but your camera went out.
Yeah,
Kelly, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, I think your camera went out. But anyway, so man, I want to know what you feel about the program, right? Because from my estimation, it seems like you haven't even looked into the program, which to me, that's what I find a lot of people have, right? And again, I don't think that means everybody gonna think that Prairie View is gonna win or anything like that, right? But I think there's a lot of ignorance around Prairie View and around the program, and people are just talking from historical narratives when they talk about Southern or Grambling or whoever else, right? They're not actually talking from the reality of like, okay, like I've looked at these specific programs. These are the specific reasons I think this team is going to do this and this team is going to do that. Right. So for me, like, what have you looked at the program and you say, man, outside of just like, oh, well, it's just year one. And I guess that's your reason, right? Unless that's your reason. You just think year one, he can't do it in year one. Is that the reason?
I think year one is going to be a learning curve. I think it's a learning curve for every coach that comes back to the SWAC, whether they're coming back to the SWAC or advancing in the SWAC. We saw the same thing at Alcorn State. We've seen that at Jackson State. Whether you are from the SWAC or not, it's a learning curve in that year one. And that's why I'm really not so bullish on a lot of different teams in year one. Shout out to Coach Terrence Graves and what he did at Southern last year, which was great. But I think
that was year one for Coach Graves last year, though.
Say it again.
That was year one for Coach Graves last year.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. I said, shout out to Coach Graves and what he did in year one last year. I think that was really good, but I think it's an aberration because of the fact that Southern's been dominating the West for the last 4 years contributes to that. I think
how can you say Southern been dominating the West when Prairie View has got to the SWAC championship twice and Southern has got there twice? How is that dominating the West if it's 2-2?
Southern's either 1 or 2 in the last 4 years.
Yeah, we split it. It's 2.
We split the last 4 years. There's been twice Prairie View's win, twice Southern's win.
Oh, you're getting stuck on the word dominant. You think that I'm saying that they're better than PV? Now, what I'm saying is that they're a very good team in the SWAC West. They're one of the top teams in the SWAC West, just as PV has been the last 4 years. So I'm saying inheriting that program is an aberration compared to a team like Alcorn State, compared to other programs within the SWAC. I think that when you look at PV and what they have going on right now, you have a program that has a lot of potential, but on the other hand, you have to actually win the games, right? And as much as I like Coach T-Jack, I think in the SWAC, this learning curve is.
Hello, you fell off.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Camera did something weird.
Kelly, can you hear? Hold on, let me take them off.
Okay.
Hey, Kelly, something's going on with your audio. You might have to. I don't know what you did last time. I'm gonna drop the link again in case you need to come in and go out and come back in.
Well, speaking of that you have to win, it's interesting that he brought up Alcorn because Alcorn hasn't been to the championship since they've been in the West. I'd like to hear his thoughts on that.
Alcorn hasn't won the West since they've been on the West side, right? You know, also I don't know if you can hear us, man, but like I say, you might have to go out and come back in. But I really want to understand what is the thing that they got to get over in year one. That's the question I really want to understand from you, if you can hear me. is you say there's a learning curve. What is can you specify, right? What are the things that are the learning curve that people got to get over in year one? I really need to understand and specify that, right? Because I feel like I would agree with you if, and I know he fell off, so I don't know if he hears this. So I may repeat it again when he come back on, right? But for people in the chat, y'all have to help me understand what's the learning curve that T-Jack has to get over in year one. Because coming to the SWAC, I mean, okay, he coming to the SWAC. Okay, what's the big deal of that, right? Like when we're talking about a lot of these coaches, Terrence Grave was a first-time head coach. Coach Bubba McDowell, first-time head coach, right? Like a lot of these coaches that have come in and got a head coaching role, they're a first-time head coach, period, right? So what learning curve, somebody has to explain to me the learning curve that is in the SWAC that wouldn't be there if he was in any other conference or any other situations. And how does you not learning or getting over that curve or getting over that hump now translate to any other program that you go to, because you've learned kind of those bumps and those bruises, et cetera, right? Because just because it's a SWAC pro, what does that change about anything if you're now a seasoned head coach in the position? That to me has, you got to make it make sense. Maybe, oh, Rocky Miller, what's going on, sir? Maybe Rocky Miller can help me understand. I need Rocky to come up. This is who I really need to come up. Mr. Rock, I really need Mr. Miller, I really need you to come up because I need you to answer something from what you said before. I'm gonna play it again because I need you to come up and explain yourself for asking this question.
He's a dog, coach. He's a dog, and he's gonna have them kids playing.
This is what I question about Prairie View, and you guys can answer this question. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View? It doesn't seem like you can when you're going up against fan bases like Southern and Grambling and Jackson State and FAMU. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View?
If you
Mr. Rocky, you got to come up and explain why you asked this question. You got to come up and explain. So I dropped that in the chat. But listen, I say Peasy said E-Rob was a real estate agent. It ain't that big, right? You know what I'm saying, of a jump. He said he got to learn thick 36. That's a learning. That could be now he said the most reasonable thing all night as far as learning curve. Okay, that could be because they ain't got them type of learning curves in the Go South. Okay, they ain't in the Go South conference. They ain't got them type of learning curves at all. Okay, that for sure. You know what I mean? Let's see. Said I think he also has to see the culture of the SWAC. A lot of attention goes outside of the team. Can you flesh that out? I don't know if I completely understand what you're saying there. He has to see the culture of the SWAC. A lot of attention goes outside the team. Are you talking about, I guess, some of the peripheral things that goes on in the program? Because if you're talking about that, right, that's why you have, for example, in this situation that he's in, right, Prairie View has poured resources and money into the football program. 24 coaches on staff. And it's not talking about even the people that's a part of recruiting that's part-timers that's working just with recruitment, for example, right? So there's a lot. He has a general manager here at Prairie View, right? He got a director of player personnel here at Prairie View, right? Like he got a director of operations. There's a lot of stuff in the peripheral that he don't got to deal with no more that he had to deal with, say, at Valdosta, Colorado Mesa, right? So you have to help me understand what you mean about that. Because maybe some of that is taken care of by the way that Prairie View has hired around the football program, right? You know what I mean? So, but I don't know, because you may be talking about something else, right? Learning curve, just a media-rooted term, mediocre mindset. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Hey, Peace, I understand. And he should have to show you because you're an all-corn guy. I completely understand, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with that. I have no problem with that. And at the end of the day, right, even the statement of, man, you still got to win. Listen, I don't even understand why we make statements like that. Like, duh, of course. Anybody got to win. I mean, duh. Like, come on, man. That don't make no sense. Why we even say stuff like that? Of course you got to win. Anybody that's playing got to win. You know what I'm saying? Got out coached in the D2 championship game. Hey, listen, and I think he probably would say that, right? Probably say the guys are better in a better situation. It is what it is, right? Can't take nothing away from that, Roma. You know what I'm saying?
No,
He'll probably agree with that too. He'll probably agree with that too. I feel famous. I feel famous now. You know what I'm saying? The guy with the best equipment in the media space, Mr. Rocky Miller.
Wow,
Hey,
man,
listen.
don't start that.
Hey, BKA, FKA, formerly known as Rocky the Rattler, but he's redeemed now. He's redeemed. He's been renewed. But Mr. Rocky, you saw the clip I played, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Let me play the clip again, right? Because listen, I went in earlier. I need you to help me to understand. I need you to help me understand why is this even a good question, okay? But I'm gonna play it again. It's only 30 seconds. I'm gonna get you a response.
He's a dog, coach. He's a dog, and he's gonna have them kids playing.
This is what I question about Prairie View, and you guys can answer this question. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View? It doesn't seem like you can when you're going up against fan bases like Southern and Grambling and Jackson State and FAMU. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View?
If you
Hey, the floor is on you. I just want to understand, why is this even a good question? Just help PV Nation to understand this.
Okay. All right. So this is why. Because in 2001, Prairie View was playing Mississippi Valley at home with a chance to go to the SWAC championship, and 700 people showed up for the game. Luckily, some other schools lost their game, and they were able to appear in the game, and unfortunately they lost. My only question is not a knock. You know, as you well know, Lionel, my daughter is a student at Prairie View, so I'm a Prairie View supporter, payer. I'm somebody that I got, for the lack of a better word, I got skin in the game. You understand what I mean? So
he do got the skin in the game.
So what I'm saying is, I've been to FAMU and saw what their support was like. I've been to Southern and saw what that support was like. I've never been to Jackson State, but I've seen a number of games at Jackson State on television where it's 60,000 pom-poms in unison trying to cheer them on to greatness, right? With that being the situation, guys, and the expectation that y'all are going the same place that Jackson State has been, the same place that FAMU has been. How can you guys have those expectations with the support that you guys have received in the recent past? That's all I'm saying. The recent past.
Well, this is the first thing, right? We can't even have that conversation because y'all don't even understand the support we have had in the recent past, right? Because the narratives that y'all are carrying, and this is why I challenge even Mr. Campbell, right? Because he say he's a supporter, but like I said earlier, supporters don't hear your character being talked about and let that slide, right? Because people have allowed people to talk about Prairie View and their fan base for so long that you would even think this is how I feel, that you would even think that's a good question, right? Because it's not about this one game, right? Because the narrative and the talk has not been about like it's a one game situation. Because if it was more than that, then nobody be talking about it. Because guess what? And that's I know I text you. I know you get a chance to see it, right? Because if I ask you, is NCCU a championship program? You would say NCCU is a championship program. They've been fighting for championships these last few years. They fan base don't average more fans than us at home games. They don't, right? So what does that have to do with anything? UI Dub. If Southern go to Incarnate Word, ain't gonna be more than 2,000 people there, and Incarnate Word gonna beat Southern by 70.
You can get that word.
So first of all, fan bases don't even really have much to do like that with a championship program, because if it was like that, then Incarnate Word wouldn't be every year fighting in the FCS playoffs, winning the Southland Conference.
You got to realize I was introduced to this space in 2005, Lionel. So I mean, excuse me, not 2005, 2020, right? With Dion coming into this space. I've been I've been following this space 5 years, right? And in my observation, the recent history, those teams who have won championships have had enormous fan bases and support. That's all I'm saying based on what I've seen. And I've been to the game at FAMU, and guess what? Guess who they were playing? Prairie View.
Oh, it was a lot at that game, man, and it was raining.
Yeah. But I'll even say this: the FAMU fans were still there. Prairie View fans probably left. You understand what I'm saying? No. I'm talking about after the break. After the break, I didn't see any Prairie View fans.
No, we were still there. We took all that pain.
This the thing, Mr. Miller. See, this the thing, right? The reality is, right? You come in, you can't disconnect yourself from the narrative that's also been spewed on you, right? That's a part of the reality too, because the narrative you've been hearing is 12. Let's be straight though. You've been hearing 12 for so long, just like I tell PB Nation. They've been hearing 12 for so long that they even start to believe something that ain't true, and it's a lie. Just like I tell Mr. Campbell, he upholding the lie for all these years and all this time. When people talk about even that 2021 game in Jackson, people never talk about PV showing up and what we brought numbers-wise, right? They just look at it because, Jackson 60,000. But again, why? Because that's the narrative that's out there because people have allowed that narrative to be out there at the end of the day. Because you say PV has been there, but PV ain't had this support. But yet we've been in the championship 2 times out of the last 4 years. I don't hear the same conversation about Howard, who don't have nobody at games. But they won a MEAC last time I checked, right? Yeah. Again, North Carolina Central, they don't have the fan support we have. They won the MEAC, right? Nobody's saying this about any other HBCU, Rocky. Nobody's saying this about Morgan. The reason Morgan can't win is because they ain't got a quarterback. Not because people ain't in the stands. Because Morgan ain't got people in the stands.
No. Okay, but Lana, you have to. I think you have to understand that the target or the scrutiny that Prairie View is under right now is largely because of the bold notion that you guys in your current condition can win a championship. Like that's not
Mr. Rocky. There was no proclamation in 2022, 2023 when the narrative started. What was the bold proclamation then? When the 12 started. You see what I'm saying? The narrative started before I came out with t-shirts. Let's be clear. So we got to tell the truth. The narrative started before I made proclamations.
But
right?
it was a footnote though in a long history that you guys have. I don't remember. Let's be honest. I don't remember people doing shows about 12 PV fans. They would make the comment, but there were no shows. There were no narratives. There were no big.
Where would the 12 come from then, Rocky? But where would the 12 even come from in the first place? If you say you heard comments, where would that even come from?
I mean, come on, Scotty. You know where it was.
Okay, of course, we all know where it come from. My point is, though, right? My point is the fact that you even hearing 12, meaning something got out there that, first of all, wasn't true in the first place. Because it wasn't even true when we was losing 80 games. There was still fan support even during that time. So that was, again, I keep saying, it's a false. The question don't even make no sense because if it made sense, Rocky, you would have to ask the same question to all the MEAC fan base.
So let me tell you. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I want to say one thing. You don't play in the MEAC, so I think the rules are different in the SWAC.
No, it don't matter. Why? Because if I build my program like a MEAC program, why does it matter what if I play in the SWAC? Why does it matter then?
Well, show me a fan base in the SWAC that is a perennial, consistent winning program that doesn't have fan support.
But again, see, this is why I keep saying your narrative is that doesn't have fan support. So you're saying that Prairie View doesn't have fan support.
No. I said no. I said that I asked you, tell me a fan base that's a perennial champion winner in the SWAC that does not have fan support. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not talking about Prairie View. I'm not talking about Prairie View.
But my question is important, right? Because my question is, do you believe Prairie View has fan support or not? Because if you believe this, I know the answer. Because if you believe Prairie View has fan support, you wouldn't even ask the question, Rocky. That's my point.
I don't believe they have fan support to the level of Southern.
So why don't you believe they have fan support? What's the point? Why don't you believe they have fan support?
Because, let me tell you a quick story. This was last year. I went to the Prairie View homecoming. I'm talking about I got there early, 11 o'clock. You know, the game didn't play till I want to say maybe around 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. Man, I had a great time at the tailgate. The tailgate was sensational, right? I'm sitting with people that I know, friends of mine, my good friend, him and his line brothers and these guys were line brothers from back in 1993, so they old cats now. And these same guys, I'm like, hey, let's make it up to the game. We bought tickets, but we not going. We gonna stay here and tailgate. I'm like, huh? Y'all not going to the game? No, we gonna stay here and just tailgate. And guess what? They weren't the only people that did that, bro. The tailgate was full and the stadium was empty if you went to homecoming.
So the stadium was empty.
No, okay. It was not full. It was
you got because listen, because the line's been full. You got to tell me exact facts. How many people was at the game? How many people was at the homecoming game?
I don't know what the attendance was, but they sold the game out.
It wasn't completely sold out, right? Because obviously it wasn't completely full. But again,
no.
Right?
But supposedly they bought all the. That's what I was expecting to sell out because I thought they had sold the overwhelming majority of the tickets.
Listen, Rocky. The false narrative been going so long, like I say, you wouldn't even ask the question to Grambling. Grambling has, over the last few years, Grambling has averaged less at their home games than we have. But you would never ask Grambling a question, even though they have averaged less. So this is what I'm saying. The question don't make sense. The only reason the question makes sense is because you came into space and the narrative was pushed on you and you've accepted that narrative in your head. That's the reality. I mean, it's not, I understand, like, I'm just telling you what the fact is.
And in 2021, when Prairie View was
so again, if you want to talk about that game, right? That was a horrible game. It was one game for sure. But I'm saying, again, if you're gonna take that and spread it across to say, okay, well, this game where we had a home attendance of 13,000 at this home game, but the stadium wasn't full. So my narrative and my statement on the game was nobody was at the game or it was empty because I talked to people who didn't go to the game. But that's not facts though. The facts was it's 13,000 people still at the game. The facts is when we have another game that even you'll say, oh, well, Jackson had 25. I don't care what Jackson had, right? We had 10,000. 10,000 ain't never been 12, right? I'm talking about facts, right? And no matter how much facts is pushed, everybody is still going to hold on to a false narrative, right? So that's why I say when people say support also means you correct people when they talking about the character of even your fan base, for example, right? Because we always have had a fan base and we've always had fans. There's never not been a fan base at Prairie View supporting Prairie View. Period.
Some of that, excuse me, right? Some of that come on us too, because
for sure.
I've been to some games where when you look up the number on the box score, it would say it wasn't that many people there, and it was more people there than what the box score said.
And what they gave the NCAA. I've seen them give numbers to the NCAA that was less, and they end up changing the number later and saying it's a higher amount, right? That's why in the record books, it'll show a lower number, right? But then when you go look on Prairie View website, it actually shows a more accurate number that's a higher number, right? So again, that's on the SID.
So let me ask you this final. Where do y'all rank in the SWAC? Because in the SWAC in attendance.
I don't know who ranking the SWAC. It probably is mid ground though, right? Again, this year, for example, we ranked in the top 30 in SWAC attendance. Back in 2017, we led the whole country in attendance in 2017, right? That's a few years ago, right? So again, the narrative that's talked about Prairie View is not even it's never been an accurate narrative.
So y'all have led the SWAC in attendance.
In 2017, we led the whole country in attendance in 2017. The whole country. That was a year when we had the stadium, right? We led the whole country in attendance in 2017, right? So at the end of the day, though, even after those years, the numbers that we've had has still been numbers that other schools would love the numbers of people that was going to Prairie View games to be at their games. That's the reality, right? That's the truth, right? Whether that's 8,000 or 10,000 or 9,000, the other teams would have loved those numbers, right? What you're saying is like, well, fam, you had 18 that year. Or well, Southern averaged 16 that year. That's fine. That's great for them, right? What that doesn't mean though is, right, it's like it's like we can't walk and chew gum at the same time. That doesn't mean that Prairie View doesn't have support because you look at another school and they have 6,000, 7,000 more at their games. Those are not the same. Those are not the same things though.
So when we talk about it, and I'm just gonna say an isolated game. The isolated game was we take that off the map because it was a terrible game. It was cold that weekend. No one showed up to Mississippi Valley versus Prairie View in late November, the weekend before Thanksgiving. Nobody showed up. I get it. All right. Give me a situation where, because Prairie View has played big games. They've played big games this last couple of years, and a few of them have been at home. How did you guys fare when Southern came to Prairie View and played the game where they had to fight? How was that game attended? Did you go to that one?
Yeah, I mean, those games are always attended well, right? But again, I don't know what well means for you, because if it's not 15,000 sold out, you may look at it and say, oh, well, it didn't sell out like they didn't do 19 like the Southern game does in Baton Rouge, right? You have to explain to me what that means, right? Because if it does 10,000, then you look at say, okay, well, that's fan support, right? But again, I don't know because I'm not the one who created the narrative, right?
So you, in your mind, what you're saying here, it's a made-up narrative that's not rooted in facts.
We know it's made up because it's not even based on actual facts that's in front of people, right? It's not even based on that. Literal numbers that's actually in front of people. But again, it's not based on that. It's not even based on the fan support. Because again, if I go to a game and it's only 6,000 or 7,000 there, but they in the game and they cheering and they cheering the team on, I don't care if the game not sold out. I'm happy with the fan support that's there, that we cheering the team to a win. That's the number one thing that matters to me, right? Now, of course, I would love for it to be completely sold out every single game. And that's the goal. That's what we push to. That's what winning the championships is going to do, right? It's going to bring in all the fans who for years been waiting for us to get over the hump. It's going to bring all of them back, right? But I'm still not going to act like the 7,000, the 8,000 who come to games on a regular basis ain't there. Like, why am I going to do that? That makes no sense. I'm not going to agree with the narratives that I hear other people put out there as if the people who come to Prairie View and supporting ain't actually coming to. I know multiple Prairie View people who go to every game away and home. Multiple people, right? So why am I going to act like that ain't reality, right? Because other people are sharing a narrative that I myself know is not true. No, it don't make sense. So I would never agree with that.
I wish we had. Okay, let me see. Yeah, James Madison was number 1 in 2017, but Prairie View was ranked number 7. Okay,
I might have the year wrong. It may have been 2016. It's somewhere around that time, though.
Well. Again, y'all have y'all. I'm gonna ask you. This is your show. This is what has Prairie View had championship level support? I want. Big Dog and Lionel to answer that question.
Yes. I think, how can you not have, this is my question. How can you not have championship level support when we raised the amount of money we raised to put that stadium on the campus in the first place? See, again, people put false narratives out as if like, first of all, why would Texas A&M give us anything in the first place? Like that don't even make sense. The crazy notion that people got as if we don't know that all black schools out here fighting for their own in the first place, right? You know what I'm saying? So the amount of money we raised to even put that stadium on campus, why are we even asking the question about support in the first place?
You do know Royce West hooked y'all up though.
Royce West hooked us up by helping us raise money through alumni who gave? What you mean?
No. I'm talking about funding for Prairie View.
Of course, because Royce West helps fund a lot of stuff at Prairie View. But listen, you can start, if you say that, this is the thing, right? You making that statement is almost disingenuous and discounting because you can go say that for every single school. You can go to FAMU and talk about they got a prominent person who does a lot for them. You can go talk to Southern, right?
Oh, yeah,
about
of course.
Okay, so that type of statement is like discounting.
What I'm saying when you talk about Prairie View, that
doesn't take into effect of all the alum who gave during that time to also give money to build that though. It ain't like one person gave the money for this, Rocky.
So I don't think everybody's struggling at the same level on the HBCU level. Anyway, let's talk about it. I think Prairie View's situation is different than Jackson State's, FAMU's, Tennessee State's. everybody has a struggle, but the struggles are different, right? Prairie View happens to benefit from every court filing in the state of Texas. $5 of that court filing goes to Prairie View.
And it should, Rocky, you know, the reality is it's supposed to be more than that though, right? You know that, right?
No other school is
getting.
It don't matter, but I don't care what other schools are supposed to get. We still not even getting what we all supposed to get, right? So I don't care if we getting this and other school don't get that. That ain't my problem, right? Because we supposed to be getting more in the first place, right? Just like every other black school. All I'm saying is, Rocky, you can't come on here and like what you're doing right now is like discounting what all the other alum did by pointing to just one person. Because you're pointing to one person as if every school can't point to one or two people who prominent in their giving, right?
Bro, what I'm saying is all of the contributions matter, bro. All of them. Of
course.
Matter. The alumni contribution, the corporate sponsorship, the tax, the revenue that's raised by the state and then given to the school, all of it matters. I'm not trying to discount. Let me say this first off. Some of my best friends in the world are Prairie View graduates. They're also my most successful friends in the world happen to be Prairie View graduates. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think it's a stretch that my daughter chose to go to Prairie View based on the circle of people that are family and friends.
Yeah, your friends.
What they're doing in life. It wasn't by accident. Prairie View is. I'll even tell you this. Prairie View is a school that it has a competitive admission process. There are a lot of schools that don't have that same struggle. Mm-hmm. They can bring a football player in with a 2.0 and a test score. You have to get admitted into Prairie View.
Yeah, and a major that we don't have.
D-Live is hilarious. That's like saying I got a black friend. It's so funny.
Anyway.
Oh, y'all wilding now.
So 80 Grimes asked a good question. C says, what do you deem championship level support? What does that mean to you?
In my opinion, you have to look at FAMU and you have to look at Jackson State from my point of view.
That's not answering the question though, right? You don't name me fan bases. Name me the thing that's championship level support. Name me the actual thing that's championship level support.
I think he means like filling the stands.
I mean, so one thing I admire about FAMU, when I went to the SWAC MEAC Challenge last year, FAMU was in the building. You had to wonder if Norfolk was even there.
Okay, so you're just talking about the fan attendance, basically. That's what you mean by
yeah.
Simply fan attendance, nothing else.
Because in my view, related to football, fan attendance, fandom, it affects what happens on the field. That's how I view it. I may be wrong. I may be wrong in that, but I think rabid fan support gives your team that energy in those crucial moments. When they walk in that stadium, and it's even when it's on the road, and they can look around and see all those people that came from Prairie View or Texas or wherever they came from to support us, I believe that means something to players.
Yeah,
I believe it also has an adverse effect if you go somewhere and you realize none of your fans came to support you. Did they believe that we could win? I think all of that matters, Lionel. And so when I talk about championship level, put it like this here. This is what I know about about these three fan bases: Southern, Jackson State, and FAMU. They can play a game for the championship on the moon. They gonna figure out how to get there.
Well,
they gonna figure out how to get there.
Now the point to that, Rocky, too, is pre-Deion, Jackson State wasn't winning, and they still had fans. So,
I mean, last time I checked, though, right? I've seen that championship game in Florida at FAMU in Tallahassee. It wasn't filled to the brim, so I don't know if it's on the moon that they find a way to get there if the weather didn't have them pack that stadium out for the championship game that time, right? So I have to push back a little bit on the moon thing because that wasn't filled to the brim last time I checked, like another regular FAMU game.
It was sold out where I had to get tickets from somebody who had.
When you was at the game looking up in the stands, was it sold out? Just like you, because you told me. See, this what I'm saying. You told me Prairie View game was sold out. See, that's the time y'all talking out the same side of y'all neck, right?
No.
The Prairie View game was sold out, but you walked in and saw it wasn't sold out. So was the FAMU game sold out the same way?
It was partly cloudy, sunny outside.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care because you just told me that they on the moon they're gonna find a way. So when you went to the FAMU game that was sold out, was it packed to the brim? Yes or no? No is the answer to the question, right?
No,
so
I
you can't sell me that. You can't sell me that on the moon they're gonna be there.
Lionel. It was a
you can't sell me,
bro.
You can't sell me. Also, Southern. Listen, Southern last year at the championship game in Jackson, they ain't attend that game last year. They wasn't there like they was at the game 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right? So again, you also can't sell me that, right? You can't sell me that. Do
you think they thought they had a chance to win that game?
Listen, Mr. Rocky, Mr. Miller, you just told me if the game is on the moon, they're gonna find a way to be there. You didn't say they're gonna find a way to be there if they find a way to win. So listen. Now I'm telling y'all, and this is why I say we only can believe half of the stuff y'all be saying because when it comes to PV, y'all are gonna be very clear about it. But I just gave you 2 examples where I showed you that them fan bases didn't show up. You got so much admiration for them, though. You got so much admiration. You're not calling out. You're not saying the actual truth.
Let me ask you this: y'all had a chance to play Jackson. Prairie View had a chance to play Jackson for the SWAC championship. How was it attended?
And we came and we showed up. That's why I've been saying that all the time. In 2021, we showed up, but nobody talks about that either. But all I'm saying is y'all don't keep it equal. Y'all really don't keep it equal when y'all have these conversations because your admiration for FAMU and Southern just had you not tell the truth about them 2 games, even though you're telling us that they go to the moon. How they gonna go to the moon? They can't go to the game on campus.
Because I've seen their fan base at the homecoming fill that stadium up when they played Alcorn last year.
Okay, that's cool, but I ain't seen them at the championship game that you said they go to the moon for. That's all I'm saying. They ain't pack it like that. They ain't pack it like that though. So all I'm saying is be the same way when you see that and say, you know what, it ain't really every game, right? It's only if they believe they can win. If you'd have said that, I would agree with you. But they didn't show up that time. FAMU also didn't show up in Field Lake Stadium when we played them in the championship game. That's the reality, Mr. Rocky. That's the truth of the situation. That's the truth. That is the truth. Just like how I tell y'all numbers and y'all still say 12. That's the truth.
You mention the extenuating circumstances to that
I
game.
don't no, because you told me at the moon they would go. How you want me to mention extenuating circumstances? You just told me they go to the moon.
They were there, but it probably was unsafe for them to be in the stadium.
You told me they go to the moon, Mr. Now hold on. Now Mr. Rocky. Hold on. Now I'm gonna ask this. Hold on. Now you a Big 12 guy. You a Big 12 person, right? You a Big 12 guy, right?
Yeah.
You a Big 12 guy. Now tell me, you telling me that them white people not gonna show up to a Big 12 game and pack it out if it was their game? Tell me yes or no. They're not gonna pack it out.
Come on. Yeah.
Okay. So listen. So then it's the thing, right? I don't want to hear nothing about you saying what the circumstance was and all this stuff. I don't want got nothing to do with that. They ain't show up. Just say the truth of what happened. They ain't show up. They ain't show up for the game. Because I was there in Birmingham in the championship 2009 when it was raining. I was there. I was there in the rain.
It was a lightning storm. And
it lightened the first game. The first game of Prairie View that we played against Texas Southern at our stadium was a lightning delay. I had to go down many times before we came back out and finished that game. What difference does it make? So no, I don't want hold them. Your admiration you can't have that admiration for them on people versus everybody. You gotta take the admiration away and be honest about the situation. Ain't no FAMU admiration today. Okay.
So
tell the truth.
At what point in and again, my frame of reference is the last 5 years. My point, at any point, has Prairie View outdrew any of the championship teams?
No. We haven't outdrew any of the championship teams, right? But again, like I keep saying, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. What that doesn't mean, Rocky, is that Prairie View doesn't have support. And I'm gonna keep saying that until I'm blue in the face. Because that ain't the same thing, Mr. Rocky, right? That don't mean Prairie View don't got support. Now, if you up here saying Prairie View doesn't have fan support like X school, like Y school, like Z school, different conversation, right? But that's not what y'all saying. Y'all are saying Prairie View doesn't have fan support. It's a completely different conversation. And y'all acting like y'all don't understand English. It's not the same thing.
I just wanted you to understand my comment. My comment is rooted in the championship teams that I see as championship level teams. And I'm only talking about 2 schools here for this conversation. There's 2 schools that have won championships, have rabid, dedicated fan support for the games. Now,
The Southern have fan support. The Southern have fan support.
Yes.
When the last time they won a championship?
I mean, it's been a while. It's been a
Oh
while.
yeah, no, yeah. It's been a while, right? So listen, man. But it ain't just.
But I don't think they lack. I don't think they lack the fan base to win a championship. I don't think the fan base is there. Is one of the draw. I don't think the fan base is going to prohibit them from taking their program from where it is now to a championship level. And my question is, I have that concern as it relates to Prairie View, and you have the right to defend.
You don't have to have that concern. You don't have to have that concern. Let me actually say it more correctly, right? To be honest, we really don't even care what you think at all, right? That's the reality, right? Because you really not Prairie View. Your daughter Prairie View, but you not Prairie View, right? You got friends in Prairie View. So I could actually care less whether we got 5 people there, 10 people there, we still gonna win the championship. I don't care about that, right? But I'm just pushing back because the question itself already showed your hand. It already showed that you think Prairie View ain't got no fan base. But that's already a fallacy in the first place. So that's what I'm pushing back on.
Why would you say I think they don't have a fan base when
you don't ask the question?
I asked championship level support. I didn't say they don't have a fan base. Did I say that? If I said that, I apologize. But I don't believe I said Prairie View doesn't have a fan base.
Okay, well, maybe I have to be corrected on that. We're gonna have to watch the video back again. But maybe I'll correct it on it, right? But what I've heard, right? But all I'm saying is with the 12 narrative, right? The fans
I've never said that. I've never said that.
Or with the statement of you don't have fans that support all these other things. Because I'm saying those things aren't accurate, right? The level of support, you can argue level of support. I have no problem with arguing level of support. But to talk about empty or to talk about nobody there or to talk about no support.
Can you just replay the video?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Replay it. So we
cue it up. Cue it up.
Yeah, I got it.
He's a dog, coach. He's a dog. And he's gonna have them kids playing.
This is what I question about Prairie View. And you guys can answer this question. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View? It doesn't seem like you can when you're going up against fan bases like Southern and Grambling and Jackson State and FAMU. Can you be a championship program with a fan base like Prairie View?
If you,
I don't know how you feel about that.
You don't think that's a fair question? Because you thought I was talking about the 12 fans. That's what you thought I was talking about.
So what are you talking about when you say a fan base like Prairie View? I don't know what that means then.
So what I meant by fan base like Prairie View is when you have a football game and the parking lot is completely filled with people, and then you want to go in and watch the game with your friends, the people that you've been eating fried chicken with and chicken wings and catfish and dirty rice and whatever, and you say, hey, let's go watch the game, and they say, nah, we're gonna chill out here, man. We really like hanging out in the tailgate when we're at homecoming.
So you're saying because instead of having 15,000 in the stadium, we had 13,000 in the stadium. That 2,000 is that big of a difference to you to say? Because I'm talking about facts right now, right? The facts is it still is 13,000 plus.
It's mentality, Lionel.
But I'm asking specific questions because you're talking about the numbers. You're talking about the attendance. Again, so first of all, right, are you saying that because that 2,000 difference is there, that's because I don't understand y'all. This is a side note, right? Y'all talk about mentality, but then all y'all got a problem with me making my shirts and saying we're gonna win championship. Y'all can't have it both ways. Okay, all right, you ain't got a problem.
I read the power of positive. I've read the power of positive thinking, and I think it's a very powerful thing. Positive thinking is a very powerful thing.
There we go.
But at the same time, you have to be willing to look for people to look at you like you're crazy. You have to be willing to accept that, and you can't be offended every time somebody say, "Are you crazy, Lionel?"
Hey, listen, I ain't got no problem. I'm out here. All right, year 2. You feel me? But see, so we good then. We good on that, right?
I had a question, Lionel. I had a question.
Go ahead.
Rocky did say Grambling had a championship level fan base, so I'm trying to see what games were championship level.
Where you get that from?
So okay, now this is based on bias because our next door neighbors for many years were Grambling Knights, and they were and they would drive back faithfully to go see their team play, go to functions. Now recently they haven't been back in recent history because of they're unhappy with the level that their team is performing
so they're
at.
not going to the moon. They're not going to the moon over in Grambling then. Okay. So Grambling don't go to the moon. Okay. Okay.
That's why I left them out of it. But historically, can you talk about like other games that I went to the State Fair Classic this past year. It was more Grambling fans than Prairie View fans.
That ain't never been true ever in Dallas. They ain't never been true.
Okay. It was more Grambling fans dressed up in Grambling gear than Prairie View fans dressed up in Prairie View.
That back line.
No.
That he might.
I'm telling you, I was at the game.
We run. And for one thing I know is that we run Dallas. That's one thing I know.
A lot of Prairie View people go to the shade when we're not the home team. So it may have looked like that because, people and Joe Kelly in the chat, people like me and Joe Kelly will go under the overhang and be on the Grambling side when we're
okay.
When we're not the home team. So it may have looked like that last year.
Yeah, that's what it. Okay, well maybe again. I'm over in the Jack Daniels suite.
Thank you, Edwin.
Looking over the shaded side, I guess, at the Prairie View side. The Grambling side looked fully packed. Yeah. Fully packed all the way around. The Prairie View side that had sparse, people. Again, that's what I'm looking at.
I don't. Well, I guess.
And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at what they wearing, what they have on. Again, and who was in that suite area? It was a ton of Grambling people in that suite area. I didn't see. There was some Prairie View people, but it's a ton of Grambling people.
Yeah, we weren't the home team last year. That's why.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's fine, but I mean, I already know we run Dallas, so I'm not really worried about that.
No. Again, again, man, I didn't do it. I didn't say it because I was hating, bro. I'm just
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Observation based on my observation of the fan bases, and like I say, when Prairie View had that chance to, maybe I was totally thrown off by that. When Prairie View had a chance to play for the championship and only 700 some fans show up.
Listen, I agree with you. That I completely agree with you. Right? You know what I'm saying? So there's no argument. That's why there's no argument there for me, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That I agree with you, right? But I'm talking about the wholesale discussion of a fan base as if there's no fan base. Like that never makes sense to me, right? Because you got to have that same argument about all these other programs then. So since you're not, that lets me know it's just a bias thing, right?
Well, let me ask you this. I don't know how you feel about it, whatever, but NCCU, they have a very successful program, right? In the past, in recent history, right?
For sure.
Probably over the last 6 years, other than Jackson State, they probably the best program in HBCU football. That's arguably. You could throw FAMU in there, but FAMU.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's an argument for sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying. But the reason why I bring up North Carolina State, because you brought them, North Carolina Central, is because you mentioned their attendance and the success that they've had. So I'll ask you, why do you think they're so successful despite having a lack of attendance and support for their schools?
One word. Well, one word. Coaching. It's simple. It's pretty simple, right? Prairie View, the last time we had an actual coach with actual experience was the last time we won a championship, right? The last 4 coaches we've had, right? And again, shouts out to all the coaches, and not like, I appreciate everybody who's always come through. So first of all, shout out, right? But that's the reality, right? We have a coach now who has experience. The last time we had a coach with experience, we won a championship in 2009, right? We was right there in 2008. We was right there in 2010. So we now have that level of coaching. And now that's an argument that we can have that's even stronger than the fan base argument. It's the who controlling who gonna get this job argument, right? That's way more important than even how many people sitting outside. Because those decisions could hold your winning back for years, which also affects your fan base, right? You know what I'm saying? Even I hear Perry them talking about it the other day, right? Like, even listen, no fan base is immune to being affected. Like you talk about Grambling and people from Grambling. No fan base is immune to you not winning and not showing success that is going to affect you, right? So that's the biggest thing that's held Prairie View back. It ain't. And listen, like I say, I get it, and I'm always pushing for us to have more people, right? So I understand that. I always say we can do better. But listen, if we win, I ain't even got to argue about us doing better, right? You know what I'm saying? So get me the right guy on the sideline. That's going to help tremendously. So now we're in a position just like NCCU to actually get the job done. Same thing with North Carolina A&T, because for many years they were down too. They hit Broadway right. They had Sam right after that. They hit on them on the right coaches. And to me, college football is all about coaching. Because when you talk about programs, you're really talking about coaches. When you talk about the great Southern years before, you're really talking about Pete Richardson, right? You know what I'm saying? When you talk about FAM, you're talking about the great coaches they had. Even when you talk about SEC, you start thinking about Saban and you see what I'm saying? Like, you talking about coaches when you're talking college football. So if you get the right coach in your college program, it changes tremendously, right? And I think finally we've made a decision that we have not set back, which also, listen, we've had many ADs throughout the years. That's affected our decisions too. But now we've had an AD from the outside who not making decisions based on people around him, who's saying, no, I'm going to go get the guy who's going to elevate us to a level outside of even what people around me is thinking, which is FCS good, right? And we made a decision that was outside of what we normally would have made the last 10 years. And now we're going to get back to the position. So coaching is the thing for me that is the huge difference between NCCU and what we've experienced.
You mentioned something just then that I agree with, but it's very rare in the 5 years I've been watching that HBCUs go out and hire proven coaches.
They don't do it often.
Be the head of your program.
None of us do.
They don't do it. But listen, this is the thing. If you look at history, this is the reason why Tremaine Jackson was on my thing. I know we just switched to a different thing, right? This is the reason he was on my radar before he got hired. I went back and I started looking to say, man, what's the matrix? We got matrix for hiring all over the place, right? Everybody got a matrix. Well, why we ain't got no matrix for HBCU football? When you go look back over the years, man, what's been successful? A lot of them, where Pete Richardson come from before he went to Southern. You see what I'm saying?
I think Winston-Salem State, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, my point is, if you go look at a lot of these guys, even our last coaches, we talk about Nix, we talk about, you know, St. Frazier, these are D2 guys who show and prove themselves and they built up. So I'm like, listen, I don't care. Nobody talking about D2 is always on my radar. Because if you show you can do it with less resources, less scholarships, right? You got to build a program. That's the same thing when you look at other places, these other schools, they take a guy who was at Youngstown State, and then he goes to Miami of Ohio, and then he gets a chance at like a Florida. They looking at these coaches that's built up. The guy who went from Washington and now in Alabama.
That's the thing, though, Lionel.
We need to do the same, get proven coaches.
But let me break in on you, Lionel. That's the thing. And Rocky hadn't been here long enough to see this, but we've had FBS coaches come the other direction. They're not used to working with less resources.
That's what I'm saying.
They come to swag and it just doesn't go well. And, you know, because we played opponents that they get these FBS coaches, they're excited. And then Prairie View goes up there and beat them with a head coach that just moved up the head coach that was an assistant coach because, you know, you got to, you know, I ain't saying you have to get a D2 coach, but they've come into the SWAC and done better because the FBS coaches are used to having everything they needed right at the fingertips.
Yeah. Again, like I say, I look, you got to understand when I look at this as a football fan. I'm learning about the struggles and the processes that HBCUs have to go through in order to get their mission statements done, right? I'm really learning about that. In other brands of football, their mission statements don't really hinder how they perform on the field usually, or they don't talk about if they do have those challenges, they don't use them or they don't speak about them openly the way that people in the HBCU space usually does, right? So that's why sometimes, like, as a football fan, we get to talking about X's and O's and fan participation and home and away advantage and things like that. And we try to evaluate it like we are looking at other brands of football. And obviously at an HBCU, the whole system is somewhat different than it is at an FCS school that's not an HBCU or a Power 5 or Group of 5 school that's not an HBCU. Well, there's no Group of 5 schools at HBCU.
No.
So sometimes we are myopic as a football fans, and we think about it just one way. You know what I mean? We think about it one way. And that's one thing I've had to adjust my thinking is that there are things that happen Monday through Friday that affect what happens on the field.
For sure.
From situations where kids don't have adequate services during the week so that they can be healthy and nourished and all those kind of things. So, man, like I say, this has been a wonderful experience for me, man. Like I say, my daughter actually chose to go to Prairie View her junior year. So we were coming this way whether Dion was coming or not. It's just when Dion came, it made I'm being honest with you, man. It turned my interest up tremendously, man. And so when I come here, I just experience the people, and I get to share in these experiences that my friends have been having for 30 years that they never told me about. You know what I mean? That's great. And so, but again, because again, you got to realize in the first weekend of November, there's some tremendous games on TV that are happening that in the general public's mind that are far more important than a preview homecoming or something like that in the general public's mindset. But if people just knew about what is happening at those HBCU homecomings and the cultural experience that's happening, and what a high quality experience it is. It's not a ratchet, ghetto, dangerous situation. It is a high quality, well-funded operation that you guys have. Because I went in back-to-back weeks. I went to Southern one week, and the next week I went to Prairie View. All y'all got plenty of money. Y'all got ain't nobody lacking no money. You hear me?
Black people really do be having money out here. Don't let these folks lie to you. Don't let these folks
at Southern, you should have seen these RVs look like tour buses. You hear me? And I'm like, wait
a minute, Rocky. We seen them because they bring those RVs to Prairie View.
They let you know that they didn't rent them for the weekend because they done stenciled their name on it, and they got Southern decals all on them. So they let you know these ain't rentals; these belong to us. And then, hey, I'm gonna tell you the thing that impressed me, bro. They got so many golf. It was a traffic jam on campus just with golf carts, bro. Like what? I mean, it was golf carts everywhere, man. Like I say, man. Now, one thing I could say, it was a walking situation at Prairie View. You could walk all over. But they were riding at Southern. They were riding in style. Their golf carts had rims and speakers and music all in it. Some of them had TVs in the headrest. I'm talking, you had dope. All, hey, man.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing it. Anybody who ever been there, and I was wondering, I was like, is this only for homecoming they do this? Supposedly, because I haven't been there other than homecoming. They were like, we do this all the time here. And I'm like, okay, if that's the story y'all sticking to, whatever.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting seeing that on a golf course. You know what I'm saying? That's a different 18 round of golf right there.
Yeah. I know. I don't think you can bring those rims and that music on the golf course, bro.
As I said, that's a different round of golf if you got them on the golf course.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. But I really enjoy being on here, Lionel, man. I just logged on YouTube and I saw a handsome bald guy that kind of looked like me on the thumbnail. I was like,
what was you? This is why, because it was bait because I was like, Rocky is gonna get drawn to this bait. You know what I'm saying? But man, hey, listen, we appreciate you for jumping on, man. Obviously appreciate you in the space as well. Because at the end of the day, man, we believe that HBCUs, right, is important for all Black people all the way out there, even those who didn't get that experience, right? Because it affects a lot of people, right? I'm obviously love that your daughter is on Prairie View, right? But again, right, like I say, with the academic side, right, man, we support all HBCUs, right? Wherever you go, it's all love and all support. It's just on the field that is different.
And like I say, Lionel, you are truly an HBCU supporter because I tried to when you were on my show, I tried to bait you into, you know, I wanted you to say that Prairie View has the best quality education of all HBCUs, and you didn't take the bait. You were like,
"Oh, really? I didn't even know you were trying to bait me into that.
Yeah,
I ain't even know. Yeah.
I think I asked you a question, something like, you know, with Howard saying they're the best and Hampton and all these other schools, what does Prairie View ranking that? And you was like, oh, they're all good, man. They're
I mean, because listen, I never when I'm talking to different people, depending on what they're looking for, depending on programs, I will always tell them like, hey man, look at this specific HBCU, look at this specific HBCU for this or for that, right? So I have no problem, right? Because at the end of the day, the academic and the life side of things is way bigger than the arguments that we be having every day on about football and basketball and stuff, right? Like that, they're way bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, to me, it's like cousins. That's how I see it, right? It's like we all cousins at the end of the day. So when people outside of us talk about us, it's like, oh no, don't talk about my cousin now. But now when they gone, I may be having the same conversation with you about what they're talking to you about, right? You know,
I have these conversations often about however they do it, whatever, because I don't know what secret sauce they use over at HBCUs, but it puts those young men and young women on a trajectory of success that other people, frankly, don't experience. And for whatever reason, that's just what it is. And I'm just glad and fortunate that my daughter got accepted and she was able to attend. She's able to attend Prairie View, and she'll be graduating this spring. So
hey, let's go.
That's the part that counts right there.
Big alum. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So man, I really appreciate all y'all for jumping on, man. Hey, listen, we gonna have to roll out of here because y'all got me out here super late. Like this is not the norm for me. Okay,
hey man, they had me out here last night too.
Man, hey, listen, I listened to that was a good episode though. Y'all gave me some good content.
That was a good episode.
So we talked a lot about that today. You know what I'm saying? So again, we appreciate all of y'all for coming and jumping on. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Thank you, Kelly Flicks as well. Thank you for jumping on too as well. Even though like we got to finish that conversation. But man, shouts out to all of y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check out HBCU Coaches Corner. Make sure y'all check out Kelly Flicks as well. And until next time, man, we're gonna holler at y'all. But now, listen, we got a schedule we putting together for once the football week gets started next week. We got Sunday, the recap with Coach Heist Northern with host Lionel and my boy Kerry Mickens. Right on Tuesday, we're gonna have a live show with myself. On Wednesdays, we're gonna have PB Nation podcast. And on Thursdays, we got the live coaches show with Tremaine Jackson that we're doing on Thursdays at Bar 5015. So again, we got a lot of stuff rolling out week in and week out as the season is getting rolled. So make sure y'all locked in with PB versus everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all give it a thumbs up, and we'll holler at y'all.